Oh, see, it says you are now live streaming because people are confused. All right. Thanks, XSplit, for the notification. So we have a fun tradition here. The first person to just like jump in and type just gibberish, usually they win. And they don't win anything, they just win in general. And it's Blue Eyes Dank Dragon. Yes.
They're the chill stream champion. There you go.
Woo! Yeah, Angie almost had it. She almost had it, but it was Blue Eyes Dank Dragon saying hello. That's deep.
Yeah. He beat her by a second.
Can you guys hear me and can you hear Tony? I'm going to call you Tony all stream.
Greeting. Yeah, I just keep doing it until I accidentally forget what I'm not supposed to say here. Greetings! Hear my voice and know me, people of the Desolation Nation.
Dude, I got this set on like 3 seconds latency too, by the way, so... Yeah, that's awesome. So what map should I pick? Which map? Let's see. I like this one. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to set this on really slow because I'm going to be paying like no attention to the game whatsoever.
I like how you already have one thumb down, man. You have the same thing happen that I do. As soon as someone finds out you're streaming, they're like, I'm coming over, just a thumbs down. That's what I'm here for. Just a little bit of hate to start off your stream. I want you to know I dislike you. And in my head, I'm like, I want you to know I don't care.
All right, this is C&C Generals 0 Hour, the greatest RTS ever made, if you like micro. Although there was a dungeon-based one back in the day that looked pretty good too. So, okay, we got Team 1, Team 2 right here. Me and artificially intelligent MTG Purple are gonna demolish them because I don't think the servers are still online for this game. So, yeah.
You know it's a good game. This is the best game ever. Nobody plays it.
Angie and her friends they're sketchy. I'm just throwing it out there. I love Angie, but her and her friends, I don't know. I don't know about them.
Hey man, they're my knights, goddammit.
Yeah, they like to Photoshop pictures of me and tweeting me on Twitter and then with no context whatsoever. Hey, the idiot reviewer's here. Woo! Dude, it's like 3 in the morning in wherever he's at. I'm not gonna say for privacy reasons, but I know where he's at. So
fair enough.
The other side of the planet.
I saw that you were blocking people because I was retweeting some of those tweets, man. Somebody made you into my trusty mount, and I thought that was hilarious. And then they did a tribute to the Trump bill that you sent me out.
Muertes favor,
Hey,
gracias,
Muertes in the house
with the $5. He's paying for this Diet Sun drop right here. I'd toast to you, but well, actually, I got a Diet 7-Up chair. I'll just toast myself.
Wait a minute. Where's my cut for this scam, huh? You told me that we would come on and entertain your viewers in this scam you call a channel, and then I would get a cut.
You know, once ever, I went. This is like last night. I went to Jeremy's stream and I sent him a $5 super chat accusing his cats of being sex offenders.
Nice.
All right, awesome. Let's see. Drinking loudly into the mic. Okay. That's delicious. It's also carbonated, so that one's coming back up.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Boom. So Muerte is the official hero of the stream.
Yeah.
Because I'm broke as crap. Actually, okay, here's the thing. I'm going to make a video about this, but anybody who shows up to live stream, which I'm probably going to actually just post this on my channel, but I'm making a lot of money finally for the first time in like my entire life. You guys know it's no secret I got some Bitcoin mining rigs, but what you probably don't know is that I've got like a lot of them. We'll just say 4 locations worth of them. So, you know, when you don't have money, you don't have income, you don't have nothing, but you got amazing credit and like 4 credit cards with like a $60,000 limit, that's what you use. I mean, you use what you got. So I got about, I'm not going to say for security reasons, but a boatload of Bitcoin mining equipment running. And I'm going to be in trouble when it heats up here. I mean, it was 50 degrees out a couple days ago, and now it's back down to -7 because that's how Wisconsin works. But it was really something. It got really hot. It was like 90 in my apartment. Old school games, that's all I play, man. Slick knows what's up. You should see my Steam. I would bring it up if I wasn't on my personal computer and had like my name everywhere on this thing. So, oh, I do live stream. I was just banned from streaming for 3 frickin' months because they didn't like a video I uploaded 9 years ago. 9 years ago, it got flagged automatically. Yep. Oh boy. So if you guys haven't subbed to MTG Purple, I'll let him explain why his channel is the greatest channel on all of YouTube. Unless he fell asleep.
Oh no, I walked away after. You just kept talking, so I just left. I was like, I'm not even part of the stream, man. Let's go to another room.
Talking about bitcoins, I'm leaving.
I just waited until I'm just gonna wait until I hear my name. Eventually, it'll get said, and then it's like, oh wait, am I here to pimp out my stuff? Go subscribe to my channel. I make magic videos where I draw ponies and goats and stuff, and I'll tell you about hugs and love.
Yay! And he's also secretly Tony Hawk. I don't know if you guys noticed. He is. He used to be a pro skater.
Somebody put our names together and called us Destiny.
All right.
I know. I saw that in the chat. That's funny to me.
You know what would be really confusing? You know how Lion wanted to jump on chat, and then I tweeted him like every day for like 2 months, and he didn't freaking respond, and didn't add me on Skype, and didn't even follow my account, so I can't actually DM him. Yeah, his name's actually Tony. So I would have been so confused.
That is hilarious, man. MTG Lion, yeah, he tweeted at me the one day saying we should do something together after I kept saying let's do something together, and then he brought you in it, and we didn't end up actually getting anything done, so none of us ended. It's just like, all right, all three of us are like, let's do something, and then we just don't fucking do it.
It was the most productive planning meeting that has ever happened.
Yeah,
Facebook,
totally.
dude, I use a fake name on Facebook, but it's a slightly less fake name. And my contacts are marked as private. I probably should just message him on Facebook. I don't trust him to know like my first and last name or anybody. Jeremy does not even know my first name, by the way.
Does it ever get to the point where you go and look in the mirror and you're just like, who am I anymore? You've used so many names in so many places.
Pretty much.
You go out and creep into people's basements and set up your Bitcoin setup, and you're like, all right, I've got 4 rigs in 4 people's different basements. They didn't even know that I'm there. I sleep there. I eat out of the fridges, man. I'm saving money.
Dude, one of them's in my parents' basement. No joke.
See,
that's where one of the
I know it's
is.
up. I knew right away, man. This is it. We're going to do one of those geocaching hunt things, but it'll be for Desolators Bitcoin setups. We've located one already through this chat. Come on, guys. We were able to take down the pedophile ring of Wizards of the Coast. We can find Desolators Bitcoin setup bit by bit.
Sure. Anybody finds my parents' business or name or anything, we're going to have a real big problem, because I'd put an end to that real quick.
Fair enough.
It's 10 o'clock. I'm not up late, although my head is pounding from the pre-release and all that. I went to another pre-release, and I did better. I went 2-2, but it was a better deck and a better pool. It was still kind of a tragedy, but it was all right. It wasn't too bad, yeah. It was rush, just rush creatures with auras. Oh, there's the burping. It was come back. Yeah,
I ran
I'll just send
God
you a message
damn it,
on
motherfucker!
Twitter.
You fucking stop for a second. Sorry, man. I'm not supposed to be swearing. I know. It's like keep it PG. He said keep it PG, people, and I'm trying.
Literally, like me, you, Lion, and like 2 other major MTG YouTubers. We all work in IT, so we all swear.
Fair enough, man. I'm trying to limit the meanness while I'm on your channel, because I get
am on a family-friendly policy here.
You've got like that middle of the road where you're not
off
the
You see
rails
this right here? This is a terrorist headquarters. So this is family friendly, and I'm gonna drop some family friendly Scud Storms as soon as I get $5,000 here. All right. Well, oh, he was supposed to go over here. God, I miss playing. I'm playing like an idiot. This is on my permanent record. Oh man. So how's the electricity cost in Canada? Would it be good to mine bitcoins there?
Actually, you know what? Right now, specifically, like in my apartment, it would be electricity costs had gotten really bad, and right now they're really good because our moronic government, the liberal government, basically in an attempt to make themselves look good, they signed a deal where we will end up paying, I think it's like 8 or 10 years down the road, all of a sudden Ontario is going to get crushed under electricity debt. But for the meantime, basically what they did was they were like, how about we give you guys $20 billion in savings or something like that. And it's like, what's the catch? It'll cost you $90 billion in like a decade. It's like,
what is the point of that?
The point of it was, honestly, is they thought that we're idiots and we wouldn't look into it, and we would just go, oh, thanks for dropping our electricity. Because I'll tell you right now, if we didn't look into behind it, our electricity bills went from like insane, like somebody's going to come and break your leg level of money to, I swear to God, sometimes our electricity bill now is like $3 or $4 a month, but that's because Carly is disabled, so she was able to get this like discount where they knock like $30 off a month, and then it got
nice.
hit with that huge discount they negotiated with those deals. But yeah, it's a rough deal. It's so bad that it makes me go, I might need to move out of the province by the time this deal is finished.
Oh jeez.
Like, it's brutal, man.
It's
when
like
I lived
in California.
when I lived down the street right over near the one game store, and the heating bills, it was all electric. The slumlords hadn't fixed the busted windows, and I was right above the entryway, which was a cold space. The electricity heating bills, it was like sometimes $400, dude. It was like just crushing, brutal nonsense.
I'm typing that one. I honestly don't know what my Twitter is because my other one got suspended. It's whatever my link in my description says.
Yeah, man, half the time I go to type it, it just doesn't want to show up. I can't remember. It's like Des Y something. I don't know.
I don't know. I was kind of going to make a video in the same like spirit as Alex, that dude from England, because he got suspended for like the 4th time, and he's like, okay, here's the options. You can add TV, you can add YouTube, you can add entertainment productions, and he's got like all these backups. He's like, I'll tell you honestly, I've got like 3 more backups right now.
Well, you need them.
Suspended so often, yeah.
You need them. I'm going to say right now, honestly, Desolator, up until recently, I thought that you were kind of fucking paranoid. Oh, God, I keep doing that. Sorry, brother. I thought that you were paranoid. Genuinely. I thought, I'm not like insane levels of paranoia, but I was like, you know what? This guy is paranoid. He's really worried about protecting his personal information. But now I literally have people offering to pay for my location. And I'm like, I get it now, brother. Any information I ever get about you will not ever be given to anybody. Because this is just, it's an insane world. Like, you have to know that, you need to know there are some people you can trust not to spread stuff about you. And I can see that now. It's insane. Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm glad I'm not a massive jerk. Because if I was, there would be people clamoring to be like, yeah, I'll help you find him, no problem. Nobody was stepping up to help this guy, right? And I responded to him. And as far as I understand it, yeah, if I responded, I mean, if an administrator had gotten rid of his comment, I think it would have been notified in a different way. So I'm pretty sure after he saw that I responded directly, he just deleted and bailed, because he was trying to do it in my area, but pick stores that I don't go to where I'm not like in with the people. But I know everybody, so I find out about this stuff fast. It took less than a day.
Yeah. Well, he was dumb enough to do it in a place where you'd find it. I've had people on Reddit that just people report it to me, and they're like, hey, this guy's asking about like where you live and crap. I'm like, great. Well,
that's where it gets crazy, because I mean, I know some whack jobs. Like, I know a guy who's older than me who's he's into vigilante justice, which is why afterwards, like, I told him about this as a joke, and then afterwards when he started doing internet searches, I was like, oh, I better not give him any other information, or this guy might be in trouble. Like, he's already coming back with he's like, I've narrowed the list down to these individuals based on this reference through obituaries. And like, he's looking for the guy already. And this is the dude who he witnessed an old lady getting her purse stolen or whatever, and he chased the guy down and like bludgeoned his hands with some like blunt object, like busted out both of his hands, and then ran back up to the lady, gave her a purse, and was like, I gotta run, lady, like don't say that you ever saw me, kind of deal. She's like, you're my hero. Like, these are the kind of maniacs that I know and have to keep information from. So it's like, you don't want to be coming and looking for me, because the people who end up looking for you, it's gonna be worse for you. I don't want any of that. I just want everyone to have a good time.
Yeah, I feel not as bad, but slightly bad for people who are just like legit psycho racist KKK Nazi types or whatever. Because nobody's coming to their defense, nobody's helping them out, and nobody's gonna be like, no guys, don't leak his personal info. No, hell no.
Well, that's true. I mean, if you're an awful scum of the earth, no one's gonna stand up for you.
Yeah. Whatever, but that's what some people think about, like, oh, if you're not an atheist, then you're an idiot, scumbag, misled, whatever. And then there's like the flat earthers where if you don't think the earth is flat, then you're part of the problem.
That one, the flat earth stuff, that blows. If you want to be religious, that's one thing, but if you want to insist that the world is flat, that is a whole new level of what are you talking about?
One of my family members, which keep in mind I have a huge family, lots of cousins and aunts and uncles, but one of them thinks the earth is flat, and I thought they were kidding.
Yeah, I would too.
I went off on them, so Christmas was fun.
Oh man, Carly brought this girl over who basically, oh man, and I'm gonna try not to swear because I know I lost it when this happened. She's in my place and she's talking about how she was in a swimming pool, right, and she's drowning, and then she got saved by the ghost of her grandma. She felt it like pulling her out of the water, and then she's like, and then I felt my grandmother like saving me. I felt all this stuff coming out of my mouth, and I'm like, yeah, it was water.
Yeah.
You were vomiting up the water, you moron. Ghosts aren't real. We would have proof. What is wrong with you? And I mean, remember, there was a lot more swearing and what going on, but I was losing it. And the thing was, she was so nice, and like eventually I just stopped because it's like you hit your head against that brick wall, but it's like, don't you get it? If ghosts were real, like, there would be some proof somewhere. Like, everybody, no, it's just anecdotal stories. My house creaked once in the middle of the night. Oh, yeah, ghosts, they're a real thing, you know. There's no proof anywhere, but they're real. You're smart.
Yeah, I know the Modern Rogue made, or Scam School, it's like the same channel, they made a video about that, and they faked the whole thing first, so that stupid people would be like, oh, this is the best evidence ever. And then they came out like later and were like, this is all fake and you're all idiots.
That's awesome.
Dude, me and you gotta come down to Wisconsin. We'll go just find some janky looking abandoned building and we'll just like ghost hunt that crap, dude. And by ghost hunt, I mean, we'll just be like, yeah, there's nothing here, and then we'll just play Magic.
You know what? You know what's funny, man? You mentioning where you are, not province, God, that's Canada, state-wise, is when I saw your letter, the first thing I thought was like, I'm like, legit, is Desolator a secret member of Red Letter Media?
You know what that is? Isn't that don't they distribute Bibles?
No. It's a fucking, oh damn it! It's every time I do that, I feel like I need to be buzzed. It's like anyways, they are a movie review channel. They're really it's hilarious, but they're from Wisconsin as well. So it was just like when I saw the stamp on the envelope, my brain went, that's hilarious.
Did they really say its origin was Wisconsin?
It said what did it say? Yeah, it said well,
weird.
I think hold on. Let me think. It was is it a city that starts with an M, I think? I don't know, something like that. And then it looked like that's what it said, I think, for the postmark.
That actually wouldn't be right, but they shouldn't have postmarked it at all, which was the reason I didn't send it with tracking.
It was postmarked. Maybe it was postmarked further along the line somewhere, but it definitely had a location stamp on it.
Well, it was probably where is that? Oak Creek. That's where all of our mail goes through. So, yeah.
It's all good, man. I threw it away already, anyways. I know how keen you are to keep your information secret. And especially, I threw that stuff away before I even saw how insane everything gets. And now it's like, hey, man, there's no way. I'm not going to give anybody anything. I used to be a really high-profile
public figure at another content management site, and this was almost before YouTube kind of blew up. And I had this legit crazy lady. You know, you can call anybody crazy, but no, she, was locked up in a mental facility, for a while. And she was, sending death threats and telling me she's gonna find me, whatever. And back then I was, I didn't care. I'm like, oh, people can know where I live, whatever, And we were required to use our first and last name. In fact, I mean, we were wearing name tags at the thing out in Los Angeles that they flew me out for.
Yeah.
And so she, she was like 55, so it's not like she knew how to trace people on the internet and crap. But, she was sending me all death threats and she's gonna do this and that. And I'm like, whatever. So I turned to the police. They're like, I don't know. I guess we can report her local police out in Maryland.
And old lady's like, I'm gonna kill you, Desolator.
Yeah, I'm just like, try it.
You know what?
And she got in trouble. She actually, I mean, she did get some police attention. And last I heard, because she just all of a sudden stopped logging into the site, the company refused to suspend her. I'm like, here's screenshots of her sending me death threats. They're like, well, we don't know what you sent her. We only see one side of it. I'm like, she said she's gonna kill me. She said she's gonna drive to my house and stab me with a knife. She already has a knife in her hand while she's typing. That's literally what she said. I'm like, really? You need the other side of that?
I know, it's amazing. It's like, well, I mean, did you insult her cooking? Did you say she has a beard? Maybe she has a right to stab you.
I insulted her content, but that's because I was one of the moderators. She was literally asking why so much of it got deleted, and I said, just grammatical and effort level and just issues with the content overall. And she got all pissed.
That's hilarious.
I should have just dodged it. I should have just been like, I don't know, must be the algorithm. I don't know. Could be anything.
They're people get obsessed with you, man. I mean, I've never had like some crazy lady obsessed with me. The only time I ever dealt with a crazy lady was I was in a mall once. I like yo-yos, honestly. And when I was living in Toronto, I'm just sitting there doing a yo-yo trick, right? And I can do a few cool tricks, but I'm not like some master skillful yo-yoer.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there just goofing around, and this old lady comes up, and she's watching me, and she looks like she likes it. She makes some comment, and then I say something back, and then her face just immediately sours into a snarl, and she's just like, "You're no master!" And she just starts like yelling at me, like we're in a big mall too, right? Like I'm just standing outside waiting for my girlfriend to get some flavored popcorn, and she's like foaming at the mouth, like screaming at me about how I'm not a yo-yo master. And I'm like, I'm just trying to, lady, and I didn't say lady, but it's like, I'm just trying to walk the dog here. You know what I'm saying?
You should have gotten out a skateboard and done like the 900. Wasn't that your signature trick?
I take out a skateboard and smack that monkey tickler right in the face.
Dude, some people, dude. I had like, I don't know, this was in one of my storytime videos, but I had some legit crazy lady just walk in and hand me this pamphlet about like this crazy crap. It was like everything. It wasn't just, oh, the end times cult stuff. It wasn't just, oh, the earth is flat. It wasn't just the Illuminati. It was everything. Like it was, and it was in all caps. It was like size 10, and she's just like hands it. She says all this weird crap about like how my shop's gonna get attacked and I better watch out. And she's like, here, you gotta read this. I'm like, lady, what? Like, what is going on? And so she walks out, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's about quantum stuff and computing and AI and the weather and the Illuminati and the flat earth and then like angels and demons and earthquakes. I'm like, well, she just hit the whole, you know, you don't want to be wrong, so just go with every conspiracy theory.
Dude, that's like, honestly, the old people have the most of them. There was this guy who lived in the building that I used to live in. He was a really, really nice guy, and it took me a while to realize how bat nuts this guy is, right? So basically, he just starts, by the end of it, he's talking about how the Queen of England is a cannibal and how she eats people. And this isn't like a joke, you know, like we're talking stories before about how he met ladies in Greenwich and just, you know, his life and just regular stories about feeding pigeons and stuff, all the way up to like, she eats people in her secret rituals. And I'm like, you need to stay off the internet or the sites you are on.
That one. Dude, like, I've heard that. I saw that one on a video.
Yeah,
it's nuts. All-time conspiracy.
It's nuts. So he's just saying this crazy nonsense, and I'm like, what's the matter with dude? There was a guy at this Magic tournament. Now he wasn't old, so he didn't have a ton of nonsense, but he starts talking all this crazy stuff about 911, and I was just like, okay, first of all, you need to stop, and then I'm like, we need to talk about something else. So then he moves on to how mermaids are real because he saw like a documentary on like, and I just lost it. I was like, you're a complete effing moron. Like you're just like, what is the matter with you? Like, and I lost it, and it was in front of his lady, and she ended up breaking up with him like next week. It was just like the guy was such a fool.
Oh, that's nuts, dude. I've had so many people like that stop into my shop. Did I tell you about the homeless guy that stopped in and asked for money? And when I told him, nah, dude, you gotta get out of here, he just went on like the most spicy swearing rampage. I mean, I was like, dude, for real, am I gonna have to call the cops? But he was like, he was walking out though. So it's like he was walking out while swearing at me. I'm like, well, at least he's leaving. I mean, if he wanted to get up in my face, then, you know, that's why I got a gun. But I've had people do that too. But, that was crazy. Just weird. It like legit. That lady, that dude, and then 2 other incidents all happened in 1 month. And I was like, I legit want to close my shop. Like, I wanted to close it for like 3 years because it's not making any money anyway, and I got Bitcoin money. So, you know, it's like, it's one of those things.
You're not going to be able to escape the nonsense though, dude. I remember I was like just from my place on my way to the local game store, which is literally at the time was like 3 doors down, and this homeless guy who, it was this ongoing saga where I remember once I'd given him like half a smoke, right, and like had a friendly conversation with him, and then I see him another time, and he keeps asking me for money, and I say no, and then all of a sudden, whenever I started walking by him, he starts swearing at me in Italian, but I know what he's saying, right, but I just ignore it, because I'm like, whatever, you degenerate, I don't care, I'm just ignoring it. And then the one day, I'm walking by, and he starts saying some stuff to me, and I was not in the mood for it, so I'm like, you got something to say? and he's just like, he starts swearing at me, going at me, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what, man? This is why I'm glad you're gonna die alone in the gutter. And I mean, it was more than that. Trust me, I'm dialing it back for your audience, but it was that level. Like, yeah, think again, pal. Like, you need to get out of my face before something happens. It was really like, no.
Dude, all
like,
the homeless people in my area like me though, because I play Pokemon Go all the time, and I got mistaken for a homeless guy 3 times. Once by the police and twice by other people. Probably because, you know, what I'm wearing is all full of holes and crap, because, like, legit, I usually don't have a lot of money. So, you know, a lot of my clothes falling apart, cars falling apart, whatever, and I'm just walking around, my phone's a piece of garbage, you know. And so they're just like, dude, he's got one of them, you know, free Obama phones. That's a thing, dude. That's a thing. I don't know if you Canadians know this or not, but if you are, like, broke and disabled and homeless enough, they will just give you a free smartphone. No joke. My friend who's, like, apparently disabled level autistic, which is bullshit, he has one. Yeah.
Oh,
and he
crazy.
uses it to play his, like, creepy anime titty games, which,
hey,
for real. For real.
That sounds creepy anime titty games is going to be the name of my new channel once I get my streaming set up.
It's going to be the name of my death metal band.
That's like, that sounds pretty light for a death metal band.
Dude, idiot reviewer, move here and pretend to be disabled, and you will get a free Obama phone.
Idiot reviewer, just so you know, because I saw you asking before, my favorite kind of pony is any pony, a free pony. Get me a pony. Whenever anybody wishes for anything, I always tell them to wish for a pony for me as well.
If ponies get better gas mileage than my car and have less maintenance, I will drive one. I don't think it's called driving.
I do legit tell people to wish for a pony for me, but if I had a wish, here's the kind of messed up human being I am, and I've said this before, although I might actually do it if I had a wish, but here's what I think would be crazy to do. If I had a wish, I would wish that every single human being on the planet got a wish, right? And here's how it works. They have no idea that they all have a wish, like, just pending. It's about to happen. So the next time they say, I wish, that happens. So basically, it's like, you know, people are like, I wish I was home right now when they're stuck in traffic. It's like, they would teleport home, and somebody would be like, I wish I had a hamburger, and boom, they'd have a hamburger. Other people, of course, would think things like, I wish my mom was dead, and you'd be like, oops, your mom's dead. But afterwards, here's the kicker. You know how sometimes somebody might win the lottery, and they would have, but they forgot to play the numbers, and they hang themselves?
Yeah.
So here's how it works. After people use their wishes, they're given the knowledge, like, intrinsically from the wish that that was the only wish they ever had, and they blew it. Just to see how many people would be like, I'm gonna hang myself now.
Yeah. I'll just tell you, if you gave everybody on Earth a wish, I would be one of the first ones to screw it up. Like, not even if it's like the cursed monkey paw, where it's like, oh, they twist the way you phrased it or whatever.
Yeah.
I would just wish for some stupid stuff.
You'd just be like, I wish net decking wasn't a thing, and then the internet just wouldn't exist, and you'd be like, but my channel.
I'll be like, I wish Mark Rose were ahead of time machine so he could go back in time and fix energy, and then like.
And then you'd be like, Mark Rose has a time machine. But here's the biggest problem, I think, is one person out there out of everyone in the world would probably be like, I wish everybody was dead. So the whole world would end if I ever did that. So I wouldn't use my wish that way. I guarantee I would wish for something stupid.
I would actually immediately wish for everybody who's an idiot to lose their wish, and then I'd save humanity.
That's a pretty good, but here's the thing, you'd have to know about it ahead of time.
Oh,
so
I would, wouldn't I? Woo! Victory! Victory is mine. That took a while. Oh, 3D Loki sending in the $5 from the Norwegian Afterlife. What is it called? I don't remember.
What did he say? He said, "Holy crap! Des plus purple equals gold." Woo! What from Valhalla? Is that what you're talking about?
Sure. I don't know where I didn't pay attention.
That's where Vikings go. That's where Vikings go when they die, unless you mutilate their bodies. If you cut the arm off a Viking, he doesn't get to go to Valhalla. You got to die intact, man. They got hardcore warrior culture.
Okay, guys, which general should I be? Which one of the 9 special generals? Just don't even type it. Just shout it at your screen. I'll hear it. That's how that works. Oh, this game, I bought this a long time ago for $20. We're talking like 10, 15 years ago. It's called TFD, the first decade. And this version runs on 7. I think I had to mod an INI file myself to make it run in a window. But it works. Hey, Carly's here. Everybody say hi to Carly.
Yeah, say hi to Carly. She wants you to pick 8, I think.
Well, you said yell at your screen. I'll hear you.
Yeah, it's true, and you're yelling, and he can't hear you.
And he can hear me, so.
Wait, number 8? That's Demolition General. That's a pretty good one, actually. Nobody else cares. Oh, wait. Air Force General, Nuke General. Username 78713 voted 3 times. I'm ripping apart your ballot, and he's clearly from Florida the way he votes. I'm cranking it up to 40. We're going to crank this up. Oh, so very shortly on my channel, I'm going to be uploading a video about the Christmas dinosaurs. No, it's not a fanfic. It's a deck. And it kind of works. So when are you going to jump on X-Mage and verse me, Mr. Tony Hawk?
I don't even know what the fuck X-Mage is, dude.
It's MTGO, but free.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's like Cockatrice or Apprentice or whatever?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Cool, man.
Yeah, so I don't get this. The Woogerworks server, which is the American one, they announced months ago that they were going to shut down their server and their support for the project on January 1st, 2018, and they didn't. They haven't so far. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, to run one server, I could set up my PC as a damn server. It's got the bandwidth and it's got the processing power, so they probably just found one, but it's still marked as Woogerworks. So I don't know if they changed their mind, but I have a feeling they have the same problems I do with that project, which is the developer's a bunch of douchebags. So, yes, yeah, I will be your friend, Noah.
What the hell's the name? Wiggerworks?
Woogerworks. Yeah, they run like a Cockatrice server too, and they run like a ton of game servers. Like, I think those Rogue Yu-Gi-Oh servers and crap, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't know any about that. I don't know. I haven't really got like I played MTGO a long time ago. I still have an account, but that thing was such a nightmare that I never really bothered getting back into it. And after what's gone on lately, who knows? Wizards of the Coast may decide they don't like the way my face looks in one of my thumbnails and be like, "We took your account. Eat us out."
Yeah, you gotta love them. That's why I'm very certain that they don't know my name. I don't use my real name on the DCI system, don't use it on Facebook. My actual name is not available in any public database. I had to fill out a lot of forms to get that hidden. But like Spokeo and anybody who feeds into Spokeo, whitepages.com, you can't find me. And I moved. So, good luck. I mean, I don't think my own family, if I was like, come on over, they'd be like, what's your address again? Because they don't know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, X-Mage is free. It's kind of janky and sketchy, but it works.
Well, that's fine, man. I honestly ain't worried about Wizards finding me either. I mean, first of all, I have 4 DCI numbers, regardless of asking them to put them together. And then I also have access to, like, endless DCI numbers, all that stuff. If I wanted to, I could have, like, 50. No problem.
Yeah, I have 2 DCI accounts. So, yeah. Well, I accidentally remade one after playing D&D way back in the day, so... There are no X-Mage judges. The X-Mage AI is the judge, and they made sure that the AI wasn't a sex offender. So, but they have moderators. They have chat moderators, and they're assholes. So, throwing that one out there. Oh boy. Well, we had like 1 vote for the Nuke General, 1 vote for Air Force, 1 vote for Toxin. Carly wanted Demolition, so it's like a 4-way tie, and nobody voted for SWG because.
It's too close to SJW.
Well, that too, yeah. And she's kind of a bitch in the general challenge when you have to fight her. She is a raging bitch. Like, she is such a sarcastic, whiny, evil, like, terrible person. So, this is the wrong game. You can't play as Gandhi. This isn't Civilization.
Oh fuck.
Boy. Let's see. I like the Nuke General, so I'm just going to be the Nuke General. Here we go. So how many nukes can we drop in one match? That is the question. Here we go. Dude, you got to get in on some of this action, dude. If your computer basically runs, it'll run this game. Like, if your computer exists and turns on, it can probably run this game.
I never really played too many games like this. Honestly, when it comes to like war-style games, I played a bit of like Command & Conquer, StarCraft. I remember like rushing to nuke people in StarCraft, but that's about it.
I played a lot of StarCraft 1, Red Alert 2, Tiberian Sun, Generals, and oh boy, Tiberian Wars sucked, and like that was it. I'm not that into RTSs because I like to play stuff real precise and get really good at it. Like in Neverwinter, I was in the top 1% for PvP, and all I did was like math all day just to make sure my character was like mathematically, you know, a little tiny bit better, absolutely optimized with the best gear, and that's just kind of like annoying. Like sometimes I just want to go blow up people with nukes.
Yeah, the min-maxing can get tedious trying to achieve the ultimate output. I like, you know what, honestly, I found that I really, really enjoy playing modded Minecraft, man. I'm massively into that.
I know that if I played it, I would like, my whole life would revolve around Minecraft, so I just haven't downloaded it.
You know what, I can understand that, because no word of a lie, for like at least a year solid, I played Minecraft like 8-10 hours a day. And once I get a better computer and can actually stream from my computer and play games, I will be streaming Minecraft because I love it.
Yeah, well, do you know okay, if you become a Minecraft YouTuber, okay, everybody type in the chat, what's the meme related to Minecraft YouTubers?
You know what, I'm not going to become a Minecraft YouTuber because those ones need kids to watch them, and I can't have a kid audience. It won't work, brother. Have you seen how hard it is for me not to swear in your stream? Yeah. Do you know how many times I've screwed it up already? You're probably not even going to be able to put this up afterwards. And I wouldn't be able to keep no kids because this is not as easy as, honestly, it's been like, what, 7 years since I had a job where I had to watch my tongue. And I used to be better at it, all right? Yeah. I thought that I would make it through our video without screwing it up once. So I ain't going to be able to have no Minecraft kids on my channel. I will be telling them to do they will say awful things around their parents.
Well, okay, so after 1.5 MTG, Minecraft YouTubers were found to be like sex offenders, or maybe it was 2.5 of them, because I say half because the other one, it was a lie. But apparently all at once a whole bunch of Minecraft YouTubers were found out to be like pedophiles. And so now like nobody wants to cover Minecraft because they're like, you got some kid YouTuber.
I'll take that, dude. You know. I've already got taking pedophiles down under my belt, so I'm totally fine with that. Like, that's hilarious to me that people think that. It's like, oh, you know what? Honestly, as well, I'll say this. Here's what I think is currently the easiest route for online pedophiles. Now, I may be wrong because I haven't done any research. So I'm just going to say in terms of like YouTube and other stuff like that, it seems to me like the best thing to do if you're a pedophile is just set yourself up a Snapchat. Because, I've used that, like, a bit, and me and Carly do funny things with the goofy little face filters, and I've got, like, Adam Daly and a couple other people on mine. But you just send these, like, little messages that get deleted right away, and there's, like, you know what, and it's just kind of, like, it seems to me like that's an easy way to hook up with the kids, because it also seems like something that's more geared towards them. I could be wrong, but it feels like it's a super easy window to little girls' pantyholes, you know?
Yeah, and the company knows about it. Old staff members that have now been fired, they admitted, yeah, the staff knows it's a problem and they don't care because money, you know?
Yeah, well...
yeah, that's what it is.
It's messed up, dude. But, I mean, Snapchat's hilarious to me. So, that to me is like, Minecraft is like, I don't know. That's another thing, too, is I like the idea of streaming Minecraft, but I would have to be me because I don't deal well with kids. They tend to annoy the hell out of me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, kids think I'm hilarious because I don't take anything seriously and I'm always telling jokes, but I do find kids confusing and annoying, so...
yeah.
Like, it's young kids.
Yeah, the thing is they have no life experience, but they want to interact with you, so nothing they have to say is worth hearing. It's like you've never done anything. You've never seen anything. Like, you literally are a ball of nothing. Like, just, I want you to exist safely and happily, but away from me. Dude, there was a kid who came in yesterday and today, and I swear to God, I'm like, I wish I could take a shovel and smack you in the head until your brain works right. Like, you know how you would hit a VCR? I don't know if you're old enough for this,
yeah.
But you hit a VCR until it works right. I wish I could just smack the side of this kid's head, not in a violent way, just in a make this thing work right. He starts out the conversation going, there are these two cards, and I never found out what the second card was because I'm not going into that realm of nightmares. The first card, he's like, it's lightning bolt, and I'm like, you don't need to worry, man. I know all the cards. I know lightning bolt. So what's your question? And he's like, I want to know what formats it's legal in. And I'm like, okay, here's what you want to do. If you want to know format legality, the best thing to do is to do a search online for a particular card, and you can find out all the formats that it's legal in case they change over time. And so he says to me, I have difficulty finding that information. So I respond back with, well, here's what you do then. Just type in lightning bolt gatherer into Google search, and you will find the result you need. Click on that, and it will literally say legality and tell you what sets you can use it in. And so then, before I quite finish that, he starts to go, lightning bolt is a spell that does 3, and I'm like, no. See, here's the thing, man. see how I listened to you? I already told you that I know what lightning bolt is. I listened to you and responded to what you're saying. And now what you're saying to me makes it seem like you're not even listening to me. So I've given you the information that you need. Were there any other questions that you had? And he's like, no. And I'm like, have a great day. And I got the hell out of there because he went up to the guy at the counter and he kept asking him questions about Magic to the point where the guy, like, we had 2 pre-releases and I was gone on lunch between the 2. While I was gone, this kid keeps coming up to the guy at the counter and asking him questions about Magic, and he would just respond back with, I don't know anything about Magic. Wait until Mike gets back. And he said it so many times that he was coming up and he started again and the guy just went, stop. I'm going to say this, you repeat it after me. I don't know anything about Magic. Made the kid say I don't know anything about Magic. Wait for Mike to come back. Wait for Mike to come back. He's like, okay, got it? Great. Like, it's just that level of, oh my god. Just nonsense.
I'm getting nuked. I'm the nuke general and I'm getting nuked. How dare they? These are the portable nuke artilleries. Oh, you dicks. You dicks. That's it. I wonder if you can, if this works. Oh yeah, there you go. That's an old RA2 trick right there. All right, just run them over with a tank. I'll be honest, that's an old Chinese trick, you know, Tiananmen Square. Okay, here we go. I'm building some nukes, man. Where we got the nukes at? I'm gonna build. Oh, we got one silo going up. Okay, I need another bulldozer. It's getting intense right here. My ally ain't doing a damn thing. Wait, what did he get? Is he SW? Oh yeah. Wait, no, he's Air Force. Okay, he's Air Force General, and we're versing. I have no idea. Traditional China and traditional China, really?
Dude, you want to talk about useless partners? The inventor of Double Strike. He's a great guy and he invents some awesome decks, but Two-Headed Giant, he's the worst partner ever. We were playing in a game where literally I'm playing blue control, right? And it was this epic deck where I had both of the opponents completely under my thumb, turn after turn. And he's sitting there at 5 lands, and he has done nothing the whole game. He needs to get to 6 lands to do anything. And I'm just sitting there like, it's like I'm at the door, like holding the hordes of zombies off, going, come on, man, do something, do anything. And he's just back there doing it. It's like having a dead head, literally. And Two-Headed Giant was just laying there going, and I'm like, help me! He's the worst.
I've been there. Well, one time, okay, so we made the 2 people that we knew were bad at Magic. We were just like, no, we're going to mix it up a little this time, because they basically lost us the game the last time. And so that pre-release, we decided, okay, we're just going to have them be on a team. And we beat them, no joke, 62-0. That was our life total. Okay, I'm pretty sure you start with, like, what, 30 or something?
Yeah, it's either 30 or 40. I don't know. It changes. Hey, Did you ever play for Ante back in the day?
No, I started playing around. Okay, are you ready for this? Return to Ravnica.
Oh, holy shit. Oh, yeah. Okay. Never mind.
Everybody
all right,
assumes that I'm super old school. But,
hey, that's fair, man. That's just because a lot of the people who are established and have the bigger channels are, so it's fair to assume, right? So, no, the reason I'm asking is, when you started talking about crazy totals, you made me think, we played for all kinds of weird variants of Ante, and I had one friend who was a bit of a scuzzbag. So we were like, these 2 guys, he was playing somebody else for Ante, and in the middle of the game, he just abruptly told them they were playing for Overkill Ante, right? Like middle of the game too, not like halfway, like not first turn or anything, middle of the game. And he says, we're playing for Overkill Ante, and how Overkill Ante works is, however much damage I put you into the negative, that's how many cards I get off your deck at the end of the game.
That's messed up. What if it's infinite? You get the whole card collection?
No, just that'd be funny. But no, you could theoretically get their whole deck. So basically, you ended up where he was playing a big Mana Flare Fireball deck. So he hit the kid for 1 fireball and put him to -33 and took half his deck.
That's stupid. That's so dumb.
I mean, if they had agreed to it before, and this guy was notorious for that shit. When I was a beginner and he was like an established player, we were playing for Ante, and my Berserk came up as Ante. It was my first game against him ever, right? And I'm playing 140 card green noob deck, just full of garbage. You know what I mean? Like carnivorous plant level garbage. Like 1 green, 3 colors for a 4/5 wall. Like trash. He's playing, at the time, what is a brutal deck. It's full of Mahamodi's, clones, counterspells, burn. Like, it's just this... He is manhandling me to the point where he's just going for victory laps. He's got out 6 Mahamodis at this point. And what I had done is I had built up a bunch of mana in my green mana battery. And so I ended up doing a 30-point hurricane and killing us both. And he's just sitting there in shock. He's sitting there in shock because he's like, he thought he had it locked up. So he's like, if you tie, you have to play for the same ante. And I'm like, no, you don't, because I had looked through the rule book and I knew there was no rule saying that. So I put it back in my deck. And then he's like, oh, you looked through the rule book, you couldn't find it. He's like, oh, call my friend, they'll tell you. I'm like, no, it's not in the rule book, man. And I put my card back in. I'm like, and I'm not playing you anymore. And like, I waited until I was better at the game. But dude, I'm the one who made everybody I know stop playing ante because I developed a combo that made it unfun and stupid. Basically,
well, I didn't even know there was different types. I never heard about that. I thought you got one and that's it.
No, there were variants and different rules, and it was pretty cool. But there was this card, you know Sylvan Library, right?
Nope.
Okay, it's a 1 green, 1 colorless enchantment. It lets you draw 2 extra cards each turn, but you have to pay 4 life per extra card or put the 2 of them back on top of your deck kind of deal, right? It's 4 life per card or keep them, so you can draw extra cards. So, but the point is that it lets you manipulate the top cards of your deck like a Sensei's Divining Top. That's the key part here.
Okay.
And then I played with this card called Dark Pact, which was swap the top card of your deck for one of the cards in the ante. So I would end up swapping both cards of the ante for swamps off the top of my deck, and then I would just forfeit the game. And I go, here, enjoy your swamps. And then I would put 2 swamps back in my deck and play them, and I'd just be like, I'm gonna take your whole deck. Like, that was, and they're like, I'm not playing ante anymore, and everybody stopped playing ante, and I'm like, I broke it, and then I broke it.
Now, wasn't ante mandatory for like F&M or something?
No, what happened was ante was not done in tournaments at all. In fact, ante only existed for a short period of time when I was playing, and if we had been playing more by the official standardized rules, ante was already done away with by the time we had started, because what happened was Wizards of the Coast was trying to get Magic into churches and things like that, and there was a legal kerfuffle around the concept of it being considered gambling, and they could get away with the booster packs, but they couldn't get away with the ante part. I mean, clearly it's ante. You're literally gambling cards. And I mean, I'll tell you right now, ante was a sweet kind of thing, but it also had, like, I traded for an Underworld Dreams when Legends had just come out back in 1994, and that was a super hard to get, super sought after card. Like, I made a deal for it. I loved it so much. I lost it the first game in ante.
Oh, that would piss me off. I mean, I know cards back then weren't, $50, but I heard there was like some $15 cards and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, dude. Honestly, right now, I'm going to tell you right now. At the time, Mox Emerald was $15.
Ooh.
Underworld Dreams was $10. So basically, I lost the equivalent of 2/3 of a Mox.
Oh my god!
In one game, and basically, a lot of the time, what would happen is you would just trade stuff back. You know what I mean? It'd be like, I got this card, I'll trade it back for your deck. But sometimes you play in against somebody who's also. So I was playing against a black player, and he's like, "This is mine now," and it's just like, I was devastated, dude.
They
like,
need it. Yeah.
those were some wild cutthroat days. I mean, we didn't even know.
Crap.
We didn't even know.
Got nuked.
We didn't even know rarities, bro. So we didn't know that, like, dual lands were rare. So I ended up getting a bunch of bayous from people for, like, a swamp and a forest, because it was like, this is a swamp and a forest, just give me them. And I had, like, we didn't even know you had to have 4 of a card. So I had, like, 8 or 10 bayous in my deck. I had 20 Crawworms and, like, 10 Sol Rings. So, like, almost every game, it was like a second turn Crawworm. It'd be like, first turn Sol Ring, and then put out either 2 Sol Rings or put one out and take a burn. Like, it was gross.
That's so nuts that they didn't implement a limit. Like, did they just think people would open more packs if you were allowed to put 16 fireballs in your deck? I mean...
No, dude, the game originally, like, the thing about Magic the Gathering is they never envisioned it being what it was. The point of Magic the Gathering originally was supposed to be, you and I are playing Dungeons and Dragons with a bunch of our friends, and then you and I get killed by, like, some Goblin King or something, and it's like, oh, we got to generate new characters, and then 2 other people get killed, and they got to generate new characters half an hour later, but there's all these periods of downtime while you're waiting or other stuff's happening. So you just play Magic in between. That was all it was ever meant to be. And then it kind of picked up, so like, okay, we need more organized rules for it. And even when they had published a book with official rules, and those official rules about, like, what cards were legal in a tournament were used by most stores as a guideline. For example, the store I played at did not have Time Twister on its restricted list, because back then we had a banned and restricted list. So Tormod's Crypt was banned because people didn't like that you could remove people's graveyard. No, sorry, Tormod's Crypt was restricted. You could only play one of them because people really hated that you could remove their graveyard from the game, even though that rarely ever mattered. Most people couldn't even get stepped back from the graveyard, but for some reason Tormod's Crypt triggered people. So that was on the restricted list at the store I went to, but only at the store I went to. Maze of Ith was unrestricted. So I had 4 copies of that. Time Twister was unrestricted, but it was restricted on the official list. Now, I remember my epiphany moment for Magic was when I was walking to high school one day, and I realized that Time Twister plus Regrowth equals an infinite cycle of like your deck. Like you are never going to run out of cards, right? Ooh. So I was like, oh, that's amazing. And I thought to myself, how awesome would it be if you could play with multiple Time Twisters? So I look it up in my book, and it's like you can only play one. I'm like, fair enough. 1 Regrowth, 1 Time Twister is an infinite cycle, but those 2 cards, so it's kind of fragile. But the store I was at said there's no restrictions on Time Twisters. So I played 4 Time Twisters. I built this monstrous deck. My 3rd tournament that I played in, the first 2 I scrubbed out hard, lost completely. My 3rd tournament, I had a deck with 4 Time Twisters in it. I played Tormod's Crypt only once so I could remove their graveyard. I played Swords to Plowshares to plow their creatures out of the game. And then I had insane strategies like Life Force, which is a 2-green enchantment that activates for 2 green, counter target black spell. And but I played... Weird. Yeah, it's a really good color screw if you're hitting the color they're playing. So I played Sleight of Mind to change it to the color they're playing, and then I used Hollow Trees, which would build up a ton of mana in it, and then a Candelabra of Tawnos to untap the Hollow Trees because you had to leave it tapped each turn to build up the mana. So basically, in a moment's notice, I could untap the Hollow Trees and be ready to counter everything in their deck. And then I would and the thing was, I was teasing people with it because I wanted to mill people out and grind them out over a long period of time. That was my goal with the deck. But I did have a way to kill people quickly with Stormseekers if their hand was full as well. Because there was this one like adult. I was like 15. He was like 30 something. He's like, just kill me. So I was like, okay. I went triple Stormseeker, and then he's just like, I'll do this and this, and I'm like, no, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. You're dead. And he was fuming, man. I just started.
Especially if you stole one of his cards with Ante.
Oh no, there wasn't Ante in the tournament. We played one.
That's right.
You know what we did that was cool the one time? We played Iron Man, where we played what was it? Anti-Iron Man, where you played for each other's cards, but also whenever anything got destroyed, like let's say I lightning bolt your grizzly bear, rip up your grizzly bear.
Oh, what? That's just stupid. That sounds like some wizards would invent.
No, we played Iron Man Magic back in the day, dude. Iron Man Magic was so common that there were people with pictures of the Moxes and shit they had ripped up. There was people who played hardcore Iron Man. When we started playing, nobody used sleeves. You looked at people who used sleeves as fucking weirdos. But I get why you need them because truthfully, you can recognize beating patterns on the back of cards. Like I knew when I was getting my Sol Ring and shit like that. I didn't know how to trick shuffle, so I wouldn't move stuff around in my deck. But you could totally see that stuff. It was a different world. Like that whole sleeve thing, it's amazing to think that sleeves at one point were not a part of Magic, and then people started first using penny sleeves, and then you'd see insane guys using decks in those fucking hard cases, those little hard plastic sleeves. So they've got a massive tower deck, which was absolutely mind-blowing. And then it moves on to the point where they came out with the Ultra Pro sleeves, like those regular kind of sleeves. But it was a weird point in history where those sleeves weren't technically legal at a Magic tournament, but they weren't illegal unless your opponent didn't like it. So I don't know if you know this, but there was a point in time where you and I could sit down at a tournament, and if your deck was sleeved, I could say to you, de-sleeve your deck. You're not allowed to play with the sleeved deck, and if you tried to use a sleeved deck, I could call a judge on you.
That's messed up.
It is messed up, but I will say there was one really, really cool thing that came as a result of this. Because what happened, and I never in a million years expected this, some clever individuals realized that they could use this de-sleeving rule to level the playing field against people who had far more expensive cards. So the people who had Moxes and stuff, they would be like, oh, you're playing a Lotus, a full set of Moxes, you've got like a deck worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Here's the deal. De-sleeve it, all right? And on top of that, the rules back then were, I'm allowed to shuffle your deck.
Yep.
I'm allowed to rifle shuffle your deck.
Yep.
And I am going to bend rifle shuffle your deck. And on top of that, I have 4 Soldiers of Fortune in my deck, which is a 1 red casting cost, 1/1 soldier from Alliances, who I never thought would matter. It blew my mind that all of a sudden people wanted him because his ability is 1 red, tap. Target player shuffles their library.
Oh, no.
So it was basically like, I am going to shuffle $500 of value out of your deck. People with valuable decks would concede because the prizes in the tournament did not justify the beatings to the cards. And to me, that level of cleverness is to be applauded. You know what I mean? Like, it was stupid that sleeves weren't allowed, but that was a really, really cool thing that happened because of it.
Well, wouldn't people do the opposite? They'd be like, oh, your card has a tiny little fingernail nick in the top. It's marked. You got to replace the card now.
No, there wasn't really issues that much with marked cards. It wasn't as big a thing.
What the hell? So people are like, I don't want you running sleeves because the sleeves are probably marked, so I'm going to make you run beat-up cards where everybody and their grandma knows what they are from the back.
Yeah, dude, I've been here since the beginning. I've seen the insane incarnation.
Dumb.
I mean, dude, I've literally been around since before there were formats. Like, there was a time when I played Magic for a considerable portion of time where there were no formats. It was just Magic the Gathering. You know what I mean? Like, you just played with it. And then they came along with formats, and at first they called it, like, Type 2. And I heard about Type 2, and I'm like, so I can't play with most of my cards now? Like, it was such a weird concept. And now I get Standard, and I see how it helps the game and whatever, but, I mean, there's part of me that's just like, I miss the old school Magic, man. I run an old school league where we use cards from Revised Era, like 94. We use stuff from the Dark, Homelands. I build the packs myself. Ooh. We play for ante. It's totally like, and you can even write on the cards because we used to do that back in the day. We would write on the cards and stuff. Like, I used to have a Kelsinko Ranger was like Buzz Lightyear, like just nonsense. It's just fun, you know?
Why not? That's awesome. Well, I heard that the U.S. government was telling them not to play ante or something.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Was a thing too, because they were like, "Oh, dude, you got to 18 plus it if you're gonna have somebody's, property or whatever on the line."
You know what? That would not surprise me at all. That would make perfect sense. And Wizards of the Coast has had to bow to a lot of different pressures over the year. Currently, they're bowing to the social justice warriors, but in the past, it was a fear of the church. When I was in high school, there were people who literally believed that Magic and Dungeons and Dragon players were devil worshippers.
Yeah.
So it was just straight up like, I had people going at me like that in my school, literally. Like, there was this chick who thought I was a devil worshiper because I played Dungeons and Dragons. So Wizards of the Coast basically went ahead and scrubbed out all references. That's why Demonic Tutor disappeared because of power levels. But other cards... Other cards like Demonic Hordes or like Unholy Strength, for example, is a really good poster boy for it because it used to have a pentagram in the back, but they kept the same kind of art. So now he just looks like he's looking for a big gay hug instead of like, I am a servant of the devil. Like, that's
way worse.
It is. It's just,
and like, put a big old rainbow and a big fat gay guy ready to give you a hug. I'd just bring back the pentagram.
Well, I mean, here's the thing about Wizards of the Coast. They could make a really sexy chick and they could have her tits almost hanging out as long as they said she had a penis. Like, you don't have to see it, and there doesn't even have to be a bulge.
Yeah,
they could just say she
trans,
tucked it. Yeah, and then they would be like, this is acceptable. This is acceptable now.
Good for her.
That's another thing that's insane to me. I've reached the point where, like, I've played this game forever. It's a North American-based company that hates its own customer base because of what they are. It literally, because of the image that certain people in the company wants, it hates that its own customer base is made up of straight white males. Like, it galls them to no end that the majority of their customers just happen to be that.
I don't get that, because even, Wisconsin's like super white, kind of, I guess. I'd say in my area, it's probably got to be 30-40% like non-white, and we're from like everywhere. We got like every single possible background or race you could ever imagine in my city. It's just everybody, it's just like whatever,
well,
so
fair enough.
So to me, it's just like, nobody's like, oh, wow, a person who's not white showed up to play Magic. Like, somebody will be like, wow, a female play Magic, because that's weird, because we don't see that very often. Nobody, like, is a dick about it, but it's not like we're like, it's like golf, where some people might legitimately see somebody walk in the door and be like, well, he's not white. Like, that is like so not a thing in this area. So, I mean,
no, man,
I don't
honestly,
know if it is in other states where it's like, nope, only the white folks are allowed to play card games, like collectible card games. Like, I don't think that's even a stereotype.
Everything that it's been for me so far has been reflective of the area that you're in. So when I live here, like where I live, for example, pretty much everybody most of the people who come to the game stores tend to be white. Now, when I lived in Toronto, because of the game stores I chose to frequent there, everybody but me in that place was an Asian dude. And that, like, I was like, all right, that's cool, because it's all about the location that you're in. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Wizards of the Coast hates the fact that they happen to be demographically located where most of their customers are going to, like, it's like if you're in North America, you're going to have more white customers than you would in China. Why are you upset about this? And trying to force females into it when they're not interested is also insane. So you're coming at this from a mentality of you're literally playing I wish, I wish. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, when they make up a problem and they say it so many times that they believe it, like, oh, all the males in the game are sexist because like 2 of them were.
Yeah, it's insane.
Really? You know. Oh, so let's talk about all the controversial topics. Ready? It's controversial lightning round. Okay. Hold on, okay. What did somebody type? They asked something. This is what I get for playing Generals at the same time. Oh, shuffle machines. Should they? It was literally Carly. I could have just asked her. She's sitting right next to you. Should they implement shuffle machines? Because yes, there are multiple types at tournaments.
Well, that's an interesting concept.
Yeah, I mean, mechanical ones. Because everybody said the top 16 should just be forced to build their deck on MTGO on a private server, and then 100% randomized shuffling, 100% cheat proof.
Honestly, you know what?
100% for that.
I was going to say, I've never heard that idea before, but the idea of an automatic shuffler to make sure that the randomization is equal across the board is an excellent idea.
Well, you know people would be complaining about it, saying it's not random. They could do a 10,000 card survey and get scientists with clipboards and crap. People would still be complaining that, nope, clearly it shuffled these together.
Of course, you know what the thing is, even if it's not perfect randomization, which obviously as a programmer you're going to know is not technically possible. But anyways, even without perfect randomization, the point is the level of randomization is being equally distributed amongst all opponents. There's no variables in terms of how do you shuffle. So that totally equalizes that and removes any sort of human variable.
Yeah, and they're acting like a human physically shuffling is more random than a computer based on a clock and an algorithm.
Not a chance. Not even slight chance. Honestly, sometimes when I shuffle, I worry to myself, am I chunk shuffling too much? Am I doing a good job of this? But I also don't worry about it too much because I only play casually for fun, and I know I'm not trying to cheat, so I don't really care.
Well, I know I stopped playing with me and another person. We both stopped playing with foil lands. Because obviously, you know, you've been playing Magic for long enough, you got them.
You can tell when they're coming.
They will group, they will arc. I gotta make a video about that. It's been on my video notes list for like a year. I'm just too lazy to make the video.
It's totally a thing you can't do in tournaments either. Like, you can't have a deck where your lands are foil and your non-lands aren't. That's
you'll get a judge called over and get a DQ. I heard about that. Yeah.
You should, dude. I've seen so much cheating because I've judged so many events. Like, I've judged hundreds and hundreds of events at this point, and I've seen so many different kinds of cheating, and they all think that they can get away with it. And it's like, dude, you are so obvious, and so I never really point them out directly. I'm usually pretty nice, and I just do a blanket announcement, and then they stop. You know, it's like, because if I catch you doing it full on in an event, then it's a different scenario.
Yeah, exactly. Well, especially if they're in the top whatever. Well, now, like, Wizards wants the same people to win because they want recognizable names and they want like celebrities and fangirls and all that. They
want profile, but they're not. The thing is, they're never, ever going to be able to use the Pro Tour as the promotional tool they want it to be. They've tried the entire time. And by the way, have you ever seen the super old promotional ads they did for that, man? I'm trying to dig them up. Some of them are amazing. These guys.
I saw one time, and I thought it was pretty funny.
They're fools. So honestly, like the Wizards of the Coast has a lot of people who are in it for the love, but there are right now, especially in terms of the people in charge of making like higher up decisions, there's some social justice warriors pushing for some hard stuff, man, and it's really bad.
Well, I love how they're so like about, oh my God, women in Magic, no harassment at the tournaments, that if you even whispered about like something like one guy made one comment, he would have his face on Wizards webpage in about 3 seconds. So the fact that that doesn't happen makes me think that they, in their opinion, nobody's reporting it, and in my opinion, it's not happening. So that's the weird thing about all of it. They're just like, it's such a big problem, it's such a huge problem, and everybody's like, but where's all the disqualifications? Because we know you would DQ somebody if they even said one little off-color comment to a female. But
Yeah.
nope, nothing.
Yeah,
not one thing.
The reaction is so over the top that to the point where they would consider it harassment if you met a girl at a tournament and just asked her if she wanted to hang out sometime and she was into you and it was just a normal interaction like you had met at a grocery store or anywhere else. They would still consider that harassment of you're making an unwelcome environment. It's only supposed to be about Magic. We'll have our Nazi-esque posters out to the stores shortly.
Yep. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous.
Dude, I'm not even joking. The LGS, the guy that I deal with, when I started talking about all the stuff that was going on, he started to shake his head because I said to him, if it ever gets to the point where stuff gets crazy and you need to like disavow me and just be like cut me off so the store doesn't have any kind of ill effects, I'm like, you do what needs to be done. And that made me sad, like just talking about it. But he was just like, he's like, I don't know, man, the way things are going, the way that they come at me, all these hoops they want me to jump through and all this nonsense. I mean, maybe I don't even need to be selling their product. Do I need this nonsense in my life? It's that kind of deal where it's just like, and I'm just like, yeah, I feel you, man, because it's just the nonsense that they're pulling is absurd. The good news is that we can exert enough pressure to actually force them, even if they won't acknowledge it, like through their Twitter and let everybody know and slink around and do it like backdoor dogs. We can at least make them do what's right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I don't know if you heard about this or not. I was getting some screenshots leaked to me and a bunch of other stuff, but that was on my old Twitter, and I don't know why they haven't found my new Twitter and resumed it. But it was like screenshots of a lot of posts that were very quickly deleted from the WPN, so store owners, Facebook group.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Some Wizards reps are there, so people know, that's where they go to talk crap, basically. And it's kind of like a forum. It's kind of like Reddit. It just is Facebook for people who are there.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so they had some posts from people that were like, we're just not going to carry Magic anymore. Either we're just sick of your crap, or most of the complaints, like I'd even say 90% of them that I saw were just, hey, we can't sell your product. We're competing with online. We're competing with these mass drop douchebags. We've already, just because we cannot move the product at that price, we've just cut our order by 75%. So Wizards doesn't care because if they sell it to somebody and they sell it to mass drop, it's $50 a box or whatever. And then if they sell it to an LGS and they sell it for $130, they still make $50 a box. So they don't care until nobody has any place to play and the game dies. But I think that secretly they don't care. If it went fully online and there was no more paper Magic, they wouldn't care because then cool, they don't have to print cards or ship anything.
Well, totally. They're trying to chase Hearthstone. I mean, I know what you were talking about when I saw Rogue Deck Builder was talking about the same kind of thing with the stores talking about how Wizards is throwing them under the bus. They're offering everything out at Walmart, so they're doing the mass drop thing you're saying, and you're right. It's because their margins aren't affected that much by it, and they don't care. I think that they don't see the LGS model as sustainable anymore, and so they no longer really they're throwing stuff basically it's a weird sort of mentality where you can see it in multiple prongs. One of them looks like a generosity prong, but really it's a desperation prong. And what I mean by that is the buy a box packs, the Ixalan treasure packs. The Ixalan buy a box treasure packs are really the key piece in this if you look at the levels of desperation, because Wizards has been on this ramp. Basically, you know how they talked about their player base has shrunk by, 40% roughly, 8 million people gone. So you've got this situation where all kinds of people are flooding out. They need to keep the money keep rolling in so Hasbro doesn't come and start choking them down going, we need to make changes, what's going on? So they look at things that can make money. They go, you know what, unlands make money, so here's what we'll do. And we know they know how much money they make because they put rarity symbols on the ones to make sure you know these guys are special. So they put the full art lands in the Battle for Zendikar, which is fine because they originally showed up in Zendikar. I thought that was a really smart callback, and I'm like, you know what, guys? Good job. It's been a while since you've done this. These have slowly accrued value over time. Like, they were originally 50 cents when they first came out. They slowly went up until they were $2, and this kind of resets the clock back to 50 cents on those, and people will be able to build them up, and anybody who's smart enough to hang on to them over time will have cards that are worth a bit more. People will like them, and then they came along and they did the same thing for Oath, and I'm like, that makes sense. It's the same block. Okay, cool. But once they walked into Amonkhet and our devastation, we're still going to do Far Outlands, but it's only going to be 1 out of 4. And I'm like, you guys have just made a terrible error. And they did the same thing with the masterpieces. They're so desperate to create extra rarities that they've done it with the track printing to create uncommons that are essentially mythics. And then they go ahead and create the masterpieces, but they go to the well, so they see masterpieces worked really well at first, and honestly, it's still real. I like cracking them. I like seeing those special cards. They go in the cube, they work well, but the problem is they glutted the market, so it killed the value. So the people who are getting really excited about it, and the value is what really pushes box opening.
By the way, did anybody ever prove that they artificially increased the rarity of certain rarities? Because I had not seen that. It's been a while since I sorted sets by rarity, but the last time I did it, I think was maybe even BFZ, and I got like exactly plus or minus 2, like 150 or 200 of every single uncommon. There was no uncommon that was, you know, cut 50%. So I think that's a myth. And I know that Rudy doesn't do singles, and Rudy was the one who started that ridiculous rumor. So I don't think it's true.
When it comes to the uncommons, that is more anecdotal. I will grant you that. The rare track printing is established. That is established through box mapping. If someone were to map the uncommons, we could prove that. But unfortunately for us, the only people with the money and interest to actually get to the level of mapping uncommons as well are the people who are currently create a small conglomerate who only share, because the box mapping crew didn't go away. They just decided to shut up and tighten up. So
yeah, pretty much.
Like, I know box mapping works for a fact because I've done it, and I want to do videos proving it. I have mapped multiple boxes. It had to be proven to me. Somebody brought over an app to my house and said, I can map boxes. Sell me one of the boxes you have on your shelf, because I had a whole stack of them.
I guarantee they're lying. It doesn't work anymore, because I open
not
usually
anymore.
100 boxes at a time.
Not anymore. Dude, not anymore. They've figured out how to stop the mapping. No. This was during the Dragon Maze Avacyn block time, okay?
Oh, okay.
So when this happened, he came over and said he could do it. In the first box, he couldn't do it. He fucked it up and it didn't work. So I was like, you're full of shit. He's like, no, seriously, sell me another box and we'll do this. So I said, okay. And I let him do the second box and it worked perfect. Like, perfectly. It worked so well to the point that I literally purchased 3 of the apps because I had to do more follow-up on my own. I had to know. So I mapped out like 6 boxes of Dragon's Maze, and it worked every time. I still have the mapping apps, and I guarantee you that they will still work on these old boxes. So when I get the resources, I'm going to go out and get an old box and do the mapping to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt to people who don't believe that track printing is a thing, that it exists. There's no reason to believe that Wizards wouldn't be doing it with the uncommons when it financially benefits them. And things like fatal pushes, in my experience now, I have not cracked nearly as many boxes as you granted, so at this point it is still anecdotal. But in my experience, and the experience of everybody that I've interacted with the sole exception of you, and you may also be biased because you heard this from Rudy first, but from every other source, I have heard that they get them far less frequently. I've watched box openings and looked at this shit when I was mapping it out for rares for other videos when I was doing research. So for me, I have not seen anything that leads me to believe anything otherwise. And when you slant it up with Wizards' goal to make money and their previous actions, it's very easy to believe it. But I understand if you don't, because it hasn't been proven concretely.
Well, I opened that set and I got exactly to the number of the amount of fatal pushes that I was supposed to, which was like 28. I mean, it wasn't like a small amount. Like, I looked at every single uncommon. I'm like, I got 29 of these, 28 of these, 28 of these, 27 of these. I'm like, the hell are people talking about? The fatal pushes are shorted. They're not shorted. They just aren't. I think people are just saying that to make there be an artificial demand for it. Maybe they're like lying. They're like, oh, these are actually a rare. So if you want one, you better buy it immediately. You know, it's always the people selling singles that tell you that.
Well, I'll tell you right now, and I'm going to say, I say that when it comes to things, when I get fatal pushes, I don't get many of them. I don't crack many of them out of packs, man. They genuinely do feel like a mythic rare to me. It's not. I'm not having the same experience as you. When
that's because you're watching for it. Like, you're specifically watching for that card. So if the variant swings low,
hold on. No. Here's what you gotta understand. I make my living selling singles. That's like, my living is selling singles and running tournaments. I'm not a programmer. My entire living is from selling Magic, okay? And before, I only used to sell Magic on the side, and I used to have other jobs. But like 5 or 6 years ago, when I went back to school, I said, screw it. I'm just going to take the dive and try and support myself on Magic. I got by on nothing, and I still am. I survive on very little. I don't make that much money, and honestly, it might be borderline irresponsible for me to be doing what I'm doing with a disabled wife who depends on me. And about 6 months ago, we hit that threshold where I might have had to bow out. But I rely on selling singles, and I sell a lot of commons and uncommons. Like, whenever people need stuff, if somebody tells me I need 4 of uncommon X, and that's a 50-cent card, I spend the time to dig them out because I need that $2. So trust me when I say I pay attention to all of it, man. And there are certain uncommons that certainly feel more rare. Now, I will give you this. That may be a psychological effect of the fact that there's certain uncommons that have such a high velocity in sales that they leave my hands instantly. Like, there are certain uncommons that are display case level. Like, Fatal Pushes go in the display case. But, like, a 50-cent uncommon does not, right? So there's that as well. But my experience, combined with my knowledge of how they do rares and other things, leads me to believe they genuinely do track print uncommons. But I would be interested in seeing you recording, opening a whole load of boxes and just showing that that variance did not exist for your experience.
I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna prove it by opening them all, but I'm just gonna show the stack, the sorting tray.
Let's be fair, because I did just realize this may also be a thing. We have to realize that Wizards' ability to distribute cards isn't always proper, so it may be that they did not intend to track print them, and it just happened where, you know, like, look at, for example, I don't know if you saw, did you see the pack opening where I literally got an Iconic Masters pack that had 3 rares in it?
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, this guy messaged me, one of my patrons messaged me saying, hey, I started opening this box. I've opened 5 packs now, and every single pack has had 3 rares. Would you like to see this kind of thing? And I'm like, I would love for you to record the rest of the box opening for me, and I'll put it up on my channel. And he said, would you like me to send you out a pack? And I said, I would love for you to send me out a pack. So he did, and I opened it. And dude, I'll be honest, I thought that the rares would replace the commons. So by the time we got to the uncommons, I was really skeptical and thought it wouldn't be a 3-rare pack, but sure enough, there was 1 uncommon. The first rare was a Glimpse the Unthinkable. Then it was a Horizon Canopy. So I'm cackling like a fiend just from value. And the 3rd rare was a letdown. It was a Charmbreaker Devils. But it literally here's the sad thing. That means there are 2 other boxes out there that don't have rares. You know what I mean?
Necessarily. I heard that at the very, very, very tail end, when the sheets don't match up, they'll just double stuff sometimes.
Oh, really?
So
you know what?
Really, really rare, but I heard they do that. I don't have any proof, but that's...
Oh, dude, well, I'm glad to hear that, because I just thought that meant some people got screwed, which is kind of sad to think, because this stuff, like, Iconic Masters is not cheap. They charge way too much for this not well-printed product.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and have you noticed that they're absolute ass quality lately for the rivals? I mean, my pre-release pack and everybody else's pre-release pack was just disgraceful. It was terrible.
You know what? That didn't happen for us this time. Actually, our pre-release kits were flawless, but the last one, everyone but the that's right. Every pre-release foil but the double-faced ones were all insano faded. Like, it was crazy. And every single common and uncommon blue, white, and artifact foil had all kinds of scratch lines on them without fail across the entire event. Plus, there were 3 levels of saturation to the commons and uncommons.
Ours was all the text. 100% the text. The titles were either too light, too smudged, they were just too something. It was 100% it was the text. And the cut was, some of them were left, some of them were right. Because, like, I get it, okay, they printed an entire case, and the case was out of ink. Great. But ours was, like, all over the place. It was, like, 9 different printing flaws. I'm thinking, how the hell does that happen?
Did you know that, the Kaladesh, they have Kaladesh lands, and a bunch of them were printed with the faded ink, and those are going for $20 a piece now.
Ooh, hello.
Yeah, there's certain misprints, and this is another problem too, because I have loved misprints most of my life because they were incredibly rare, and when you will know what I'm talking about when you
I used to collect them,
yeah. See, when you deal with insane amounts of cards, like things like that, like I love crimps the most. Crimps are my absolute favorite misprint. Yeah, and there are fools out there, and because I'm part of misprint groups, and there are fools out there who always go, "Oh, crimps can be fake, crimps can be fakes," but we have yet to see one person prove it. Everybody says it, but there's no
exactly.
So I used to love misprints, but then they did so many that video that I did on Magic the Garbaging where I just lost it. That video, no word of lie. Here's what happened. I had been making videos for months, and I said to myself, you know what, man? You don't want to disconnect with your joy of Magic, and you don't want to always just be opening things on the channel. Make sure you're still doing what you enjoy. So I sat down for my own personal opening of just one pack of Modern Masters. Because remember, I don't have a lot of money, so a $15 pack, which is what it costs for me, is a real treat. You know what I mean? Like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's significant to me. That's not like, I mean, if you spend $60 a week on groceries at most, $15 is a lot when it comes to a booster pack. So I sit down and I'm like, I'm going to enjoy like this luxury pack, and I open it up and I get to the foil and it's just off kilter and there's these problems with it, and I almost started foaming at the mouth, man, and I just yelled out to Carly. I'm like, Carly, set up the camera. I need to talk. And I just basically went off, and that's why I'm
way to start a video. Tone
I know,
wise.
I know, man. And the thing was, I was still peeking when I was done, and I tweeted it straight at Wizards and straight at Trick Jarrett, saying, "Hey, man, I know you're looking for small up-and-coming YouTubers. Here I am. What do you think?" It was totally just like I was so peeking, man. Like it's beyond unacceptable.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I just got revenge on the Chinese that nuked me. Yep.
Good, man.
And mortared me. They mortared my army because they knew I was coming. In fact, I think they just did it again, come to think of it. My base is on fire. My whole base. Look at this. Look at this. It's like Detroit. It's terrible. Oh. Well, okay. I have one of the most rare expensive crimps ever. It's a textless lightning bolt.
Oh,
like
what?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I got it from a friend of mine. Yep.
What? Are you genuine? Like,
that thing's got to be worth $100 at least, probably more.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
He
I
owed
would
me
not
money
be
and shit, so you know,
dude.
that's what it is. So,
dude, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's sick. Oh, dude, check this out. Check this out. Today at the store, I tracked down the guy who cracked open the foil steam flogger boss, and he had no idea what he was sitting on. So I told him, bro, you've got like 2 bills, $200 at least, unless it's dipped, because it was 300 before. He was just like, what? I told him to hang on to it in case I need it for my foil unset.
dude, that's the problem. Is if I pull a card like that, I don't care how much I like it, I'm selling that sucker because I need money.
You know what? I'll be honest. I may not end up collecting the foil set of Un for a long time just for financial reasons, if I'm honest. But anyways, back to that crimp lightning bolt, dude. That's the most baller thing that I've heard since I was talking to the one guy up in Toronto that I know, and he was telling me about about Summer Magic.
Yeah.
So he's got a bunch of Summer Magic, like a big collection. He's got like a blue hurricane and all that jazz. He was talking about bringing it in the store to show me, and I told him I'd rather he just record a video in his place rather than bring all that stuff in, because that's, you know, like that's.
You need a bodyguard with a bulletproof vest and a gun.
Dude, that's vault level stuff, you know.
I don't walk around with that kind of. If I got like $300 on me, I got weapons and armor, dude. I don't mess around with that shit.
Oh, dude, I'm the way that I operate. Once the Chinese counterfeits got to a certain level, like once my connection started showing me certain level of the Chinese counterfeits, I started to divest myself of all old holdings. Like
that's what Lion did. He said if it doesn't have a hollow stamp, fuck it, he ain't touching it.
Oh, exactly. And I got rid of all of it, and now I'll be honest, when it comes to like Moxes and Lotuses and things like that, I will only take them through a strict chain of custody, and that's why people come to me, because they know that I can be a link in that chain. I got 25 years worth of experience, and I know, like, I have been burned by fakes very, very, very few times in my life. I think it happened about once a decade, so like twice.
No, yeah, you just look for the ones that look way too good. You got to look for the curling, misprinted, miscut pile of shit, and that's the real card.
It's true. It's true. You know what's crazy, dude? I'll tell you right now. The problem is with them fucking up all this card quality stuff, it makes it harder to like. They've just made it so much easier for counterfeiters. Like you've forgotten the counterfeit protection measure in the double face cards. So from now on, we can never use that as an absolute test, because you can always point back and go, they forgot it again. They forgot it before. We can never be certain. Like, they literally are obliterating their own safeguards. It's like someone gave them a manual on how to dismantle their own business, and they're following it step by step.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it's because they're putting personal politics and feelings above everything else. Everything else, like, oh, well, changing society is more important than just our business and just our sales numbers. And I guess, like, I can kind of respect that, but even if it was like religious, but it's just like, no, it's just social justice bullshit, you know. So
100%, man. Did you hear about Did you hear about what happened? Where was it? I think it was Spain or whatever, with the pre-release where
Yeah.
all the double face cards have the wrong sides.
Dude, that is some money right there. People are like talking crap about the like the you know how the what is it, the misprints aren't worth any money anymore. If it's just Spain and just the promos or just the foils is one of the two.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
it has
just
to be
like a couple packs. I mean,
if it's only in pre-release kits, then they're golden, right? If it's just the one language printing and it's only in the pre-release kits, they're golden. If it's all the printings, they're worthless. I mean, it's like when the when Amonkhet came out, people were getting really excited at first because they were getting dark print and foils until they realized that all the foils were dark print. And dude, I don't know if you saw it, but so many of the full art lands, and here's where Wizards screwed up again. Full art lands, right, which are the premium deal, like worth like $8-10 a piece. They have these lines across them, like they look like a set of vertical blinds. No word of a lie. And I'm like, are you kidding me? The level of errors they're making is so amateurish. Like, Force of Will card quality is great. I ran over one of their cards in my chair, and the titties on that card were still pristine afterwards.
that's
man.
amazing. It
You
must be
could eat off.
Kevlar. It's made out of that Australian money crap where you can't rip it.
I'm gonna be truthful, man. I think that the reason their card quality is so good because they know they have Lonely Boy art, and if you're gonna tug it all over your cards, they want to make sure you can wipe them off easy.
I think they just looked at Magic and they're like, okay, we can't beat them on market share, we can't beat them on this, on longevity, on player count. We'll just beat them on actual, like literally the product, the actual product quality.
And you know what? And fun, because I'll tell you this right now about Force of Will, dude. Force of Will is like Magic, how it used to be in the beginning, where it's like, there's some really unbalanced swingy nonsense, but it's not the kind of situation where it's like only one deck will dominate forever. There's just like the game's too new. So you know how you hate net decking?
Yes, I do.
It's not a thing in Force of Will, dude. Like honestly, everybody's just playing their own build of whatever. It's literally like pick your commander from Magic the Gathering, just build your deck and start having fun. I'm literally going to make a Jug Hunter Tits deck. Like, it's just going to be based on... And the thing is, I have one spell that's like a burn spell that does 12 damage to any target. And the artwork is literally just gigantic jugs with just the nipples being covered.
You know
just
they're
to
going to
make
have to cut that. Like, if they're going, yes, we're also a 13-plus games, people are going to start complaining. Even I have a problem with it. I'm just like, that's just needlessly lewd and just awkward to play with when it's like, here's a big powerful spell. Don't mind the artwork. Like, there ain't no reason for that. It's ridiculous. Other than they're going after a certain demographic, which is pervs.
You wanna talk about them caring, dude? I don't think they will. If you look, they have an artwork. They have artwork where they have a dog with tits, and I mean like a full on set of tits. And I don't mean like
the furry crowd, man. That's them
listen,
creepers.
Listen, it goes even crazier because I'm not talking about an anthropomorphic like humanoid version. I'm talking about like a hound you would have in your house, and it's got big jugs. And I shared the picture on Twitter when I first saw it because it was like #dog tits, and then somebody zoomed in on the face and it said "kill me." Angie asked about the double face cards. We're talking about the ones from the pre-release this weekend.
Yeah, it was either all the foils or all the promos. It was one of the two. I want to say it was the promos that were run wrong.
Yeah. It was as far as I understand, it was just the promos. So as far as it stays that way, then they've got something awesome on their hands. And part of that is because the unlike with basketball, baseball, whatever kind of sports cards you want to collect, they do not like misprints. They throw them away, right? You've got grading systems where they want gem mint cards, they want perfect cards.
Yeah.
If they're messed up at all, they throw them away. They look at us like we're insane. But the difference is, Magic the Gathering, there are people out there who have cubes, like I have my King Cube or whatever, but they have rules where it's play the card as written. So if they have a misprint where it's half the casting cost from some other card, but the rules from a different card, boom, that's how you play it. So they would play the flip cards legit. So you could have the most busted cards in the world, like with flip conditions that are way easier to meet and to sicker ability. You know what I mean? Like... It's really cool, and there are people who collect misprints just based on them meeting certain criteria, like so-called ironic misprints, like concealed courtyards that have big ink blobs over the word courtyard, so part of the courtyard is in fact concealed. That, or I have daring demolitions with demolished D's, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we got one that said it was like dark something, and the whole card was printed with like 4 times the amount of black ink that it was supposed to, and everybody wanted it. People were like making high offers to the guy. You know, he's showing it off. He's like, "Oh, look at this comical misprint," and everybody's like, "I want that. I need it."
Dude, the craziest thing I saw recently was like less than a week ago. Somebody put a Blue Hurricane up for auction, and man, I don't normally come and like follow threads, but people were there watching it, and some people were just posting popcorn memes, and one of them was a guy just furiously fisting popcorn in his mouth, and I was like, I like this picture because that's me right now. I'm just like watching it because this thing is being bid up by $100 a go, and people are getting tagged into it, you know, because the thing is, it's a $10,000 card, and the guy started it out at $2,000, so you know things are about to get heavy. These guys will pay serious bank for the right cards. Hell, did you ever see those Minecraft promo codes that you could use? Wizards sent them out to stores, and it was just like a Minecraft skin.
I thought I know I heard about it online, but I think I saw somebody like asking for one locally too. They're like, "Oh, cool, that'll be nice." I remember I saw some footage like on YouTube and on Twitter and stuff where people are like, "Hey, look, I'm playing as, you know, Jace or whatever." I'm like, "That's kind of cool," because they could just have one of their artists make that. I mean,
that's
like
exactly
one person can make a mod. It makes sense. And sponsored mods and theme mods. I mean, Pepsi has been like the only company I know of that did that, and Red Bull. Like, that's it. And they made Pepsi Man. They made like that's like an N64 game. Like Pepsi friggin' Man. That's some hardcore gamage right there, dude. Yeah, you got to be like Dark Souls hard to play that game.
So yeah, to celebrate, I guess, the launch of the skins or whatever, they sent out some promo codes for free skins, and they came on oversized Magic cards with like a Minecraft Chandra on it. Oh. So people were bidding like, "Oh, I want this for my son's bedroom or whatever." So it was like, you know, like 30 bones or whatever. Like, it's crazy what these like oddities and rarities go for, but it's also really sweet. I like it.
Wait a minute. Mr. Prince Morgan says that he played against me on X-Mage with a commander deck. I still, to this day, have not built a commander deck on X-Mage. So it's incredibly likely that that wasn't me, and there are some impersonators, and the staff refuses to do anything about it or make me a moderator. So.
Oh my God, where is this? I'm gonna go and impersonate you if they can't do anything about it. It's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna go be like, "What's up? What's up, buttholes? I'm Desolator Magic. Let's get Desolator Tragic up in here."
Yeah, I gotta get some old ass like Dark Souls games on. Like I have an analog capture card, so I could just hook up an N64, start playing Jet Force Gemini. Wasn't that game impossible? I mean, there was games that made Dark Souls look like a walk in the park.
Oh hell yeah, dude! I grew up in the days of real video games where it's like, "Oh, okay, you're not gonna get to save, and this is gonna be murderous. Have fun, punk."
Yep. That's just bad design, is what it is. Yeah, Super
it's true.
64. That's hard stuff, right? There.
That's broken.
Permadeath in that game. You can't turn it off.
That game's broken, dude. Do you know that you know that ET game that they buried in a landfill?
Yep.
Me and my friend Chad, the guy that I use as the fake Desolator, we actually found that in a pawn shop when we were kids, and we played it, and it's as nightmarish as they say. Honestly, out of every game I've played in my life, I hate that game the most. It had the most finicky controls ever, and it was just this anxiety-inducing. Like, who made this? Even as a kid with way more. I was stupid as a kid. I accepted garbage games, and it was still like, this is a nightmare of stupidity.
Yeah, well, the clipping engine and the collision engines were just wrong. Even the one guy who made it said he knew it was wrong, but it was a timescale thing. It was a schedule. So
it was unplayable, dude. I look at those old school games, and like one of my fans sent me a Wii U recently, right? And so he just sent me a streaming box yesterday. I've been playing a lot of Wii U, and the graphics, it's just so crazy to see the difference. And the games are great. There's not all kinds of problems with them. My nitpicks are so small.
Oh, that's nice, yeah. Well, except until Nintendo DMCA's your entire life.
Oh, yeah, but here's the thing. I'm not going to be streaming anything on YouTube. I'm doing it on Twitch.
I'm pretty sure they go after Twitch, too. I mean, I stopped using Twitch, but I can't imagine that they would say just YouTube isn't allowed.
Oh, no, but here's the thing. What Nintendo's doing on YouTube is illegal. So what it is Twitch is just isn't... Twitch isn't bowing down to their illegal
so
demand.
they're just telling them that's not a valid DMCA piss off because it isn't.
Yes, exactly. So they're not going, oh, like YouTube will put whatever corporate wang comes by into their mouth and gobble it and sound like a turkey. You know what I mean? But when it comes to, the difference is YouTube needs to court them, whereas Twitch needs to actively fight game companies, because as soon as they bow down to Nintendo, Sony or anybody else can come knock and go and give us part of your revenue. Like, it opens them up to their own death, because Twitch is above all a video game platform, and we all know it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even really use Twitch that much, but I know that, you know, I'm getting to the point where I'm even out of the demographic that they consider is supposed to know this stuff. The demographic, the demographic that's keyed into everything and that matters is 18 to 34, and I'm well out of there now. So for that, I'm not even supposed to know what Twitch is.
I don't know. You know how like Facebook games, like the whole Facebook game room, it's like exclusively 55 and up. Like, old people are like hardcore gamers. They get their mahjong and they get their freaking hearts and crap. And that's like all they do. Like, back in the day when I used to do like when Facebook was just becoming big and I used to do in-home computer repair, that was real popular with, you know, old people who didn't want to
old people yelling at Tesla later, fix my computer, I want to play mahjong.
Yeah, it was literally like, oh, I've got a good streak going, I got a game, a poker tournament. I'm like, every single old person used their computer exclusively for gaming.
My grandma used it.
Maybe they'll get into Twitch. Maybe that'll be the big rush. People
that'd be awesome.
Stories about their grandkids.
I would watch that. I would sit and, you know what, honestly, there's so much garbage on the internet and so many young, dumb people on the internet that have no life experience and no opinion worth hearing. A 65-year-old man, he's probably going to say something worth hearing at some point.
Oh,
dude,
you know what I would watch? Just like straight, like racially insensitive comments from old people.
yeah,
just
like that old,
nothing but super
that old
racist
lady who was like,
interviews.
Hail Hitler or whatever, because she was
No,
like
they're
so gone.
My nurse is so nice at my what is it, the nursing home, but she's black. They're like, I'm nervous around her. Like, you legit get, like, that's like a stereotype,
amazing.
but that's like, I know people like that. Like, at my grandma's place, some of them were like, I'm so glad we only have white nurses. I'm like, oh my God. First of all, there aren't. Have you met them? And secondly, what the hell?
Yeah,
oh
dude.
my God.
There was this old lady when I was a kid. My mom would take us to this old lady's place and we would go swim, and it was like they were friends. And I won't say it on your channel, but the old lady was talking about black people and called them straight up. You can obviously guess which word. You like go for the biggest error you can think of, and that's the word she used. And my mom was like, "You don't call them that or whatever." And she was like, I've been to Africa. That's what they're called. That's what they call themselves or whatever. Like, she was like vehemently defending that she was in the right. And it's just like, oh. And I've been in places where I've just like, there was this old guy who lived in a building, and I'm just sitting there, we're talking, drinking a beer, and then all of a sudden he's like, them damn, and it's just like, whoa, wait, back up 2 sentences. What did you just say? The worst though was when I worked for what was it, like BMG Music? It was one of those CD companies, and I'd be calling people up going, hey, what's up? I'm here to hook you up with some free CDs. And some people straight up, like real, like hardcore racists, I couldn't believe it. They were like, no, I canceled that because you sent me out like magazines for your CDs with black people on the cover. And what I'm saying ain't what they said. You get my drift, bro?
Oh
like
my God.
They were saying it friendly. Like, I'm a pretty hardcore guy, and not much takes me aback, but the way that they said it, it floored me, because it was totally this is genuine, and you're a crazy person.
Well, my brother had the same thing. He worked customer support in a call center for a very family-friendly, like super, like we're talking like, I don't even know what to compare them to. Just like the most family-friendly, like kids content type of thing ever. I was going to say Hasbro, but I think we all know that's not true. And they were not allowed to hang up on like these old ass people calling in, like getting racist and crap. Like one of them, like I think he had like he moved here from Mexico, but you know he got a green card and all that crap. Did it the legit way, and obviously people who have a problem with those people are the racists. You know, I just don't think people should come over the border without a background check. That's crazy.
Yeah, but, do it legally, you know, and it's fun.
She had this old lady going, you sound like one of those Latinos. Are you illegal? And she was like really trying not not to go off on her. I think she ended up saying, yes, I am, but I came here legally. And the lady's like, I still don't think you should be here. So my brother legit got a forwarded email because you can save the MP3s locally. He forwarded it to me from her. I listened to it. I'm like, I need to put this on YouTube. But the problem is he'd get fired. I'd get sued. Probably still worth it.
Oh yeah, dude.
This was just like the funny. That'd be amazing. He sent me like 8 different recorded calls, and they were. If you thought those like dumbass 911 calls were good, like those compilations, oh my god! Like I would probably have 10 million views on each of these if I would have uploaded any of them. But they said the company name like 50,000 times and stuff. But some of these people, they called in clearly just drunk and just like. Oh my god, it was some entertainment. I'm surprised that, because you can sense outgoing emails and track them and shit, that like their IT department didn't catch him. Just like, he'd like literally send me an email like, lol, look at this racist, dumbass, drunk, you know, freaking mental patient. And I'm like, okay.
I worked in those places, and they have like so bad security. I remember, like, you want to be careful what you say to people when you're talking to them on the phone. I was working with one guy who found out that one of the people he had talked to on the phone lived in the same city, right? And he was calling. He called the guy about like a credit card or something from Citibank or City One or it was Capital One. Oh, yeah. And then the guy was a complete like jag off to him on the phone. So we went to the guy's house and spray painted on his driveway "Capital One owns you" or something like just some nonsense. That's man. Great. I dealt with some insane stuff in some of the places that I work, man.
I want to work with the least amount of humans possible. Like, you can legit only work at a place that's like people who have their shit together. Not even just like rich people, but just like people who aren't like complete and utter degenerates. You know how you got like the nice grocery store, and then across town there's like the shitty grocery store where people are like talking to each other and you might get stabbed? Or that's right. Talking to themselves. Talking to themselves, I meant to say. Talking to each other, that's normal. I legit went to this like cheap ass grocery store. It was quite a drive actually, but somebody said it's so cheap. I'm like, all right, $100 I'm gonna get it all done. I'm gonna get like an entire car full of food. And I did. It was like $70. I'm like, holy shit, I've been shopping in the wrong place. But this one lady was pushing the cart, just like talking to herself. Like I'm like, I went around to see if she had like a Bluetooth in the other ear. Nope. She was just bonkers. She was like dressed like real fucking weird and stuff. And I'm like, dude, this is really weird. I'm just like, I kind of want something that she's standing in front of, but she's standing in front of it giving an internal monologue. I'm just not going to buy that. I'm going to sweep back around when she leaves.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, we were at crazy people, dude.
Totally. We were at a store that's like the equivalent of like a cheap grocery store kind of thing, and there was some fucking dude in there who got all upset and was like muttering about us, kind of at us and near us. And it's like, I don't remember what he called us, because the thing was he was doing it in such a sketchy, weird way that I didn't even know that he was talking about at us. But then Carly picked up on it and started doing the same thing, not directly to him, but like around him and stuff, to the point where it got to him and he just kind of like came by and did a weird drive-by apology. It was the most weird experience. But honestly, we go there and it's like a depression train. It's just like, dude, who wants to get real sad? Are you hungry? Are you hungry enough to endure like just a painting of human misery? Because that's where we're going.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why even I get like 2 customers a day at my shop, or maybe 3, sometimes 10. I mean, but it's enough to make me hate society. Oh, we could post links? Hold on. Let me make sure I'm on the right website. Hold on. I'm going to post the greatest link in the history of links. It didn't copy right. Okay, there we go. Everybody go. Why can't I fucking control? God damn it. There we go. Oh, Firefox and Forms. Every other time you click on it, it blocks the typing. So annoying. Everybody, click on that. You must click on that link immediately. It will change your whole life. The problem is there's a desync problem, so everybody's like, why did he just paste that? And then like 10 seconds later, the internal server error? What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
wait a minute,
it's like it's gonna change your life. You're gonna realize he just wasted your time.
No, what is wrong with all y'all's computers? I literally just
All
clicked
of
it
our
myself.
computers. It's like the one guy. It's like, it's not me. It's everybody else. Sure, Desolator.
I think everybody's bullshitting me right now because I just pasted it in and it's right there.
Dude, it legit happens.
See that
too.
dude right there, Attilan, he got to the website. So is it like geo-blocked? Like, can you only go to this website if you're American or something? See, Reagan got it. What? I am so confused.
Nah, Romaine's got it right. You borked it up, man. You borked it up.
This is some X-Files level Illuminati shit. Like, this is the blue dress all over again, where some people are like, it's 500.
That was crazy. That was crazy. I remember seeing it once, right? And I'm like, why is everyone freaking out? And the next time I saw the picture, it looked different. And I'm like, I don't like this.
I lost my shit when I saw that thing white.
I don't like anything that messes with my sense of reality because I've got a pretty firm one. And that one, I'm like, no, you know what? Like, I don't believe in magic, ghosts, or anything else, but I believe in dresses. But I don't believe in magical color changing dresses. What is happening? So when they were able to explain it scientifically, I'm like, thank you so much.
You know what it is? It's probably the YouTube relay. That's probably what's ruining it. Because YouTube is relaying it. If you look at the actual link, it restructures the anchor tag to have like a YouTube relay, and they're probably screwing it up. There, that's just everybody copy and paste it. You need to see this website.
Yeah, it's working.
Oh, also, it doesn't work on a phone at all. Like, not even a little bit.
You got hustled. You guys got hustled.
I took off the backslash. It should work.
Yeah, but it requires the JavaScript is on mouse overs, so theoretically it shouldn't work on a phone at all because you can't mouse over it. I don't know. It depends how clever they were making it. Which, yeah, but that's the greatest website ever. So I gotta bail in a sec because I gotta edit another video and upload it, and I want to go to bed. So, which I think we know I'm just gonna edit videos until I fall asleep in my chair. But okay. So who wants to see an adorable picture? Which you Patreon people already saw this, but I'm gonna share it with you Epic Stream people. It's a picture of
post links. No, it's gonna post pictures.
Wait, what? What's Carly saying?
She's just talking about you posting links and pictures.
Oh, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't. But anyway, okay. So Nala, everybody knows this is terrible. Nala's BFF forever.
It was awesome. You were excited to post links.
I'm always excited to post links. I can post links to anything. I'll get excited about it because then I'm like, dude, people are gonna get dank memed upon.
To anything?
Well, almost anything. Okay, so she's like 8 years old, and then she had like, it's not her brother, but it was like her friend, Charlie. He was also golden retriever. Now he was a rescue from like a shelter or something like that, but he was born with some kind of mild birth defect, so he was a little bit messed up in the head, which was kind of funny. They loved him, but he died from complications to like some kind of lung thing that was like a genetic thing, I guess. So that sucks. So now Nala was like super depressed because she's like looking around for Charlie, and oh my god, that is so fucking sad. So
I was gonna say you're being a real downer, bro.
This is getting dark. This is a dark stream.
Who
this
likes
is not
happy
a chill stream.
memes? So I killed this dog and I dragged it behind my car in front of the little girl who owned it.
Yes, and
take that, you little bitch!
Now Nala's an alcoholic. She took up drinking.
It's like, you shouldn't have shown my face on Twitter, you little bitch.
So anyway, yeah, Nala was super sad because she's just like looking around for Charlie nonstop. So they got her a new friend. His name is Jameson, and he's fucking adorable. And hold on, this is gonna take me like 100 years to get this in Xmage. Let's see, I gotta go to, or not Xmage, XSplit. Media files. And
you're XSplitting my heart here talking about dead dogs.
I know. I'm gonna start crying in a second. I am like 3 seconds away from going a full-blown cosplayer, and I'm gonna just start bawling on stream.
I'll cry if you talk about dead dogs enough. I'll start to sound emotional. I ain't joking.
There, I just put a cute puppy over top your name because puppies are more important.
Oh yeah, hell yeah,
hell
yeah, puppy love, man.
I gotta get a video of them. I mean, they can't really walk them in -8 degrees, but
no.
I'll go over this. Everybody thinks Nala's my dog because I'm more obsessed with her than Fireman is, but no, it's Fireman's dog. Also known as Aiden. I usually just call him Aiden on accident, so his name's Aiden. But yeah, Aiden has an adorable new puppy. Look at me, so cute. I love puppies. You should get a puppy. Dude, you would be at 1 million subs by now if you had a puppy. Or like a penguin, a monkey, or an owl. I mean,
you know what, man? Honestly, our place isn't big enough for dog. We've talked about it, and we want to get one, but it's not fair to the dog.
Yeah, I suppose.
And as much as it would be nice to use it to whore out my channel.
Well, we don't even have the.
Oh, I just asked Fireman to name himself. I just said pick a name, and he said Fireman. So, yeah. I think it was a joke. I think I might have suggested it because I don't know if you guys saw Iceman on my channel. AKA just Ice, and I'm like, well, you could be Fireman. He's like, fuck it. So we just called him Fireman. Yeah, Iceman was such a spaz, dude. But like, he's like super dorky, like just like me. But you know, I thought he would be less dorky on camera and more funny, but no, he's just dorky.
That's cool, man. You know, dogs are dope. My last dog was named Chaos, and she lived up to that name. She was this little like. Well, actually, not the tiniest. I like decent-sized dogs, not gigantic ones, but not like super tiny either, because you don't want to accident. You don't want to break your dog's leg just walking through the kitchen and not noticing it's there.
Yeah, my friend Eric did that when he was a kid, and he was traumatized by it.
Yeah, that's brutal. I would feel so bad. Like, I feel bad. You know how it is, man. You step on your dog's paw, and then you're all of a sudden down on your knees like, I'm sorry, I love you. Like, we're cool. Like, I know you don't understand why it happened, and you think I'm attacking you, but it's like, I love you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, that's how it is. Like, dude, I almost watched my dog die in front of me. What happened was, it's like a movie-level thing where I had gotten onto the elevator, and my girl got, like, I don't know exactly what it was that stopped her from getting on, but she was holding the part of the retractable leash, the handle part, and I had the dog, right? And the doors close, and the elevator starts going down. So the cord, like the dog starts getting lifted up, right? And the collar, it's not a body harness. So it's a collar around her neck. So it's starting to hang my dog. And at the same time, it's pulling her up towards the top corner of the elevator. I know it's about to happen. If she gets up there, she's like going to get mashed into it. So I'm desperately trying to push her, like her weight is down on the collar. I'm trying to unfasten the collar and everything, but her weight is pulling down on it. So I'm trying to push her up and getting her collar up. It was one of the most intense moments of my life. Now, thank God, the length of the collar, like the cord, wasn't long enough, so it snapped. So I'm in a super panic moment, and then all of a sudden, it just slackens, and the dog's in my hand, licking my face, and I'm like, oh, thank you. I don't believe in you gods, but thank you so much for not murdering my dog in front of me.
See, that's why I always carry a very large knife, which actually is super illegal in Wisconsin. You can open carry without a license a Barrett 50 cal on your back if you want. Doesn't matter. Actually, a full auto, too. You can have a full auto if you bought a $32,000 pre-grandfathered in law, a submachine gun with a short barrel. Why not? And a silencer. And you can carry that around in public if you're 18, or I want to say 21 for that one. No problem. But you can't have a folding knife. That's illegal. And it's not even a length restriction. It's just you cannot have them. And now I have a concealed carry permit, which means I can have tasers and I can have any kind of concealed weapon, any firearm that's legal. But it specifically says in Wisconsin law that you cannot carry a folding knife or a spring-assisted knife on your person with this permit.
You know what, man?
Are you
know what?
Right
You know what's that would have sounded crazy to me if I had not seen something in the last month. What I'm going to do is later on I'll send you the link over Skype. That's it's funny because it's actually the Red Letter Media group that I was talking about. What they do is they review insane VHS tapes from a long time ago, like the craziest things. One of my favorites is one where they go in and they're just reviewing a video where this insane coked up dude is in a casino just talking about slot machines, just going blah, 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 and like he's out of his mind, right? So that is hilarious. But then right after that, they go into a police training video, and it's called something like Surviving Edged Weapons, right? And it just shows the million different ways they can hide knives, how deadly people can be with them, and why you should be so terrified of them, more even so of people who have guns. So if you actually go and watch it, it may shed some light as to why the laws are the way they are, because after seeing the video, like, they didn't know it was going to be what it was. It was epic. Oh, and another thing that you will love, this was actually filmed in the state you live in, dude. So it was filmed by actual like people. It's a police training video. So it's not like a punches pulled. It's full on graphic. It's talking about cops getting killed with crossbows, getting stabbed with like gas can cap knives, people wearing baseball caps with razor blades attached to the back and slashing your face and stuff. Like, it's crazy. So check it out. I will send you the link.
Damn.
And it may help your perspective on that, because it totally, as you're saying it, I'm like, oh hell yeah, no, it's insane. When you see what people can do with knives, it's like, oh my god, how fast they can murder you and stuff. It's nuts.
Dude, that reminds me, I gotta make another throwing knife video. I haven't made one in forever because we haven't had a card worth destroying. But the merfolk are gonna get some knives thrown at them. I'm just saying. Oh, and also, okay, we gotta talk about this.
Wait a minute, what's wrong with the merfolk?
They can go burn in hell. That's what's wrong with them. Although my new deck just crushed them 3 times in a row on X-Mage, so apparently they're not that great. But it's just they're not interactive. Just straight up, the word non-interactive. If that describes your deck or your card or whatever, don't print it, Wizards. Real simple.
No problem.
That's the problem they have with Modern, is it's non-interactive. It's you get the combo or you don't. And you can't block Merfolk. You can't stop them with walls. Death Touchers doesn't matter. They're all unblockable. They're all hexproof. They're all, you got to pay 2 extra to target them. And then if you try a board wipe, they have negate because they're playing blue. So it's like you can't stop Merfolk unless you can out damage them on speed, which is what my deck does. So it's just going to be speed or Merfolk. That's going to be your 2 options, or some degenerate bullshit combo with approach.
Well, I love the Merfolk artwork, dude. That's it for me. Like not mechanics or whatever, but the artwork of the Merfolk, I love it.
I guess. I don't know, I think they're ugly and creepy, but it looks like some cheap Doctor Who or Star Trek stuff. Okay, so tomorrow is the ban announcement. So okay, I doubt it, but in 4 minutes, in 4 minutes Central Time, it's ban day. So they're either going to announce that they're not banning anything or restricting anything, or they're going to ban something. So what do you think? So what do you think they're going to do, and what do you hope that they do for the at least standard? Because I don't give a shit about any other format.
Man, they should just get rid of what's it called? Like either get rid of the first or second turn drop. So you get rid of Long Tusk or Attune with Aether.
Oh yeah. Well, Attune is nice for other decks, but
yeah,
we got Amulet now though.
Dude.
Yeah,
you get a lot for 1 mana with Attune. I think Attune might be the real problem, but I'm not 100% because I'll tell you truthfully, I don't analyze Standard that much. I mean, I know it was like the last big event we had 7 of the 8 decks were energy, but I don't pay that much attention.
Yeah. Oh, Noah, I did hold an X-Mage tournament for mad prizes. Like, we sent out a gaming laptop. Like, no joke. That's back when I had a little bit of money. But I sent out T-shirts and, like, custom posters and shit. Yeah, it was pretty epic. But I don't have the money for another one. So, yeah. I think they should ban. I don't think that energy even stands a chance in hell against anything from Rivals. So I don't really see the need, but just on principle, because I hate degenerate garbage decks, they should probably get rid of the Aether Hub, which is the land, or the Hydra. Well. Certainly the Hydra. That would be my first choice. Actually, my first choice would be the Scarab God, because that card was a fucking mistake, but it's worth so much money, they're never going to get rid of it. They just can't.
Scarab God's fun, man. I mean, it's definitely overpowered, but I like
Scarab
the card.
God is going to be like a hybrid graveyard mill toss / top deck free cast deck, I think. I think somebody will make that work with Champion of Ronus and a bunch of other stuff. So, yeah, it's not fun. But I don't think energy is going to be a thing. And since there's a set coming out in like 3 or 4 days or whatever it is, why the hell would they ban energy? So I think that they're not going to ban anything unless... I don't know, unless it's like a tune and nobody gives a shit, where they're just like, oh, we're taking the power down 5%. People are like, whatever, I'll still play energy, you know. But I think they're going to do the whole wait and see thing. Like, they would have done something about energy already.
I'm guessing you're right. They will most likely wait and see. I mean, it was disastrous to have the 3 bannings that they did in such rapid succession, so they're probably desperate to not do it, honestly.
Yeah. Well, they should have just banned the damn Marvel the first time.
That was a huge
Marvel.
That was a huge oversight. Honestly, the whole Kaladesh blocks rubs me the wrong way. I hate vehicles, first of all. That's a personal pet peeve of mine. Vehicles, trains, cars, helicopters being a part of Magic, it's all abysmally stupid. Energy is a dumb concept. They're basically trying to bring electricity into Magic, and they did it in such a dumb way that we end up with, like, steampunk jetpacks and other absolute non-Magic feeling nonsense. So, from a flavor standpoint, the block was a fail. From a balance standpoint, the block was a fail. And you have to be careful when you mess around with artifacts. And they weren't, and they should know, because up until now, up until this recent spate of bannings, the history of Magic bannings is that the majority of them, almost all of them, have to do with colorless cards. So you have to pay extra attention when designing colorless cards.
Yeah, exactly. Because as soon as everybody can play it, it's bad.
Exactly. The reach, if you make a mistake with a card and it's a black card, that only goes into 20% of decks if the color distribution is equal, right? So it changes things drastically, whereas artifacts go into 100% of decks.
Oh, yeah. Are you going to be at Jeremy's BandCon?
No, dude, I wish. It's
like this weekend, isn't it? It's like literally in like 7 days.
I don't have the reason. Like, here's the thing. If I had the resources where I could bring Carly with me, because I can't leave Carly. Like, she's disabled. Like, she's the level of disabled where picking up a full kettle of water causes her pain. So I like to be here to do stuff for her. You know what I mean? Like, I make sure that I work less than 5 minutes from here in case she needs me. Yeah. And no matter what, even when we didn't have enough money for food, I made sure that both of our phones were turned on, or at least hers, so she could always call for help. Like, that's priority number one, man. So I can't go anywhere or do anything until I can take care of that. I got to be able to at least take her to like a hotel or something. You know what I mean? Like somewhere where she will be safe and taken care of if she needs help. So basically my goal is once I get to a certain level, like through ad money or Patreon or whatever I can figure out, then I'll be able to do more things like that. But for now, that's like asking if I'm going to the moon. It's like, it's an impossibility.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to close my shop for that many days. I don't have the money to drive out there or fly out there, and it's just not. I mean, the other thing is everybody's like, "Are you going to this, that? Are you going to GP Milwaukee? Are you doing that?" I'm like, "No, I don't have the time or money. Plus, I got multiple health problems and multiple people who want to kill me. So it's just, what would be the benefit other than I get to meet some fans and shit? I'll just do a live stream if I want to meet fans." Which I'll be honest, obviously not the same thing, but still.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
I hate people. I hate crowds. I want to go. So it's like. I hate everything about it.
I like being around. You know what the thing is while I don't like some people, I do like being around people. I genuinely enjoy the idea of going to GPs and meeting people. And when they'll be in areas nearby, like in Toronto, I'm totally going to try and go there. And when my reach expands in terms of finances, I also would love to go and do that stuff. I don't share the same opinion. I want to get out there and meet these people until I'm sick of it, and then I'll feel like you.
Yeah. Well, if I make enough money with Bitcoins, I'm just going to close my shop straight up. You know, and then I won't really have regular hours except for like my other 2 jobs, which are intermittent. So, yeah, nice. Let's see. Let's get a Bitcoin report. Let's see. How much am I making right now? Oh, Bitcoins went down the toilet. They're 13.7. Shit. So I'm making $92.81 per day with a lot of rigs. Just a couple rigs. So, yeah, but as soon as it gets hot out, I'm in deep shit. Because just at my shop, I've got 3,000 watts. Wow. So, yeah, it turns out 5,200 offset, which is the BTU conversion, can't handle that. So I need a second air conditioner. I don't have money for that, so that sucks. But yeah, it's gonna take me still like a year to get out of debt, even at this rate. So it's not great.
I feel you, man. I spent a long time in debt, honestly, and then I got my debt straightened out, and then Carly ended up getting disabled, and now we're dealing with her bankruptcy and debt. So I feel you, man. It's a struggle that a lot of people go through. So it'll be nice when you get out of it, bro.
Yeah. Well, if my gaming channel takes off, I got this wonderful master plan. I did a test with Cuphead to see if my videos were qualified on a large scale to be shown in the suggested and high in the search results if I really optimized them, and it turns out yes, because one of my Cuphead videos got triple the amount of views than I had subscribers. Sweet. So that was kind of nice. So the next time a AAA or AA level game comes out that's single player and has like missions that you can make walkthroughs
when it meets those criteria.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you played Borderlands 2. Yeah. But there was one where you had to find 5 switches and turn them off or turn them on or whatever. And that video had 3.8 million views. And the guy had under 1,000 subs. It's just straight up just here it is, you know? So if I make that and I qualify it and I've got a more established channel with, 1,000 subs, which I think about what I got, I could probably get a couple million. So I'm looking at maybe... what would be Metro Exodus if it's big enough? I mean, I know Last Light was kind of big. I mean, I gotta drop the $60 on the damn title to begin with. So, sure. Yeah, so it's like that's a lot to me. $60 is a lot of fucking money. So, yeah, so and then the thing is, I gotta play the shit out of the game and be like the first person to make it, and then I'm really better at editing than somebody who has like 50 subs. So. The video that I was watching, people always had to skip around. They're like, okay, just speed up this part. We want to see where the next fucking thing is that you go to. It's like a 19-minute video to do 2 minutes worth of content. So I'm going to just trim it down. It's just going to be the video, the premiere video on how to do this quest and that mission and that whatever. And I mean, you know how much like 1 million views is worth, right? It's about $2,000 to $4,000 in ad revenue. So yeah, I'd take 3 million views, 12 million or $12,000. That'd be a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I think you're getting better ad rates than me, bro. I find it's more like $1 per thousand, but I feel you.
Yeah, I took some steps to improve mine because I know how like Google and SEO and bidding and shit works because that was part of my degree was like website design, web development, web database programming and coding, and then also SEO. So, my other thing was very working heavily with Google SEO because it was content. So.
Yeah, I didn't do any of that. Honestly, I just came on here to caper about and be like a goof and entertain people, so I'm really bad at getting down and doing all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, the best part of winter in Wisconsin, Alpha Lizard, is Bitcoin mining cooling for free. Other than that, and you can go outside without getting a sunburn or sweating or anything. Like if you put on a jacket and like a mask and some gloves, you don't even feel it. You don't even really know what temperature it is. What the hell do you do when it's 90 degrees out and it's sunny? Sunscreen and just sit there and sweat and then get heat stroke and go to the hospital. Wow, that's fun. I cannot stand anything above 73 degrees. As soon as it hits 73, I am parking my ass in front of the AC unit. And the outside can just piss off.
Yeah, extreme temperatures are not welcome, man. I enjoy being in a climate-controlled environment.
Yep. Well, I better get flying because I got to edit this video. But
all
everybody go subscribe to MTG Purple. I'd post a link, but apparently all you people from communist Europe would get a 500 error. So if you want a good altcoin, don't buy Sia coin because the reason it went up has been resolved, to say the least. And once people realize it, it's going to crash. I sold off my Sia coins for $700 flipping dollars, though. I'm pretty happy about that.
Well, that's not too shabby.
Yeah, and I'm going to rebuy it a penny if they hit it. So, yeah, it went up because people could make orders, but they couldn't make sell orders, basically. So if you can buy Sia coin, but you couldn't sell it, the price is going to go up, but they fixed it. So, yeah, I wish I could short it. I wish that was a thing.
Hey, fair enough, man. I haven't messed around with any of the cryptocurrencies.
I'm going to try to post a link. Let's see. The fuck? If you type in MTG Purple, you get a really weird website. Hold on. Oh, okay, you're the third. What? One of them was written by wizards. I got to go read whatever the hell that is. But all right, let's try this. Fucking Firefox. There we go. Yeah, that link will not work.
There you go. Nothing but broken links in the house.
Everybody go pretend to attempt to click that link and go subscribe to MTG Purple.
Subscribble all over my face.
Yeah, he does not kiss Wizard's ass at all.
No.
Not really. That's not the way I would describe it.
You know what, man? So sorry for not being able to keep it the PG as much as you had requested.
Whatever. I never do myself, but whatever. All right. Well, everybody have a nice day. Watch for my awesome video about my awesome Christmas colored dinosaurs, and it should be still uploading tonight. So, yeah.
All
no,
right,
it's
man.
not secretly my channel. I'm talking to him right now.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Oh, I think he just picked up like 90 subs. Holy shit. All right. Well,
Shut up.
Tech Social Blade. Yeah, I refreshed the page and I was only looking at the last 2 digits and it rolled over. So a lot of people just hit sub apparently. All right.
Yeah, I think like 20 some odd have shown up during the stream. I was at 300. I was at 2,308-ish, I think, before we started, and now it's 2,334.
I thought it was 2,258, but maybe I'm just tired.
No, definitely not, man. I checked earlier today, so I know. Unless I somehow got dumped. And also, Social Blade's weird, man. With channels that are small like mine, it doesn't update that frequently, so sometimes it'll dump other days and lump them together. So it's not... I go and look at it sometimes, and I'm like, that's not what happened. It's like, you got 2 subscribers today, and 68 the day before. I'm like, no, I didn't.
Yeah, they sometimes get scrape errors and stuff. That's always fun.
But that's cool. I mean, honestly, that's sweet, man. Thanks for giving my channel a shout out. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's because your channel is better than mine. It's mine if I was less polite.
Yeah, it's true. If you weren't trying to keep it how I am not currently, then yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I can't do it. You see, even when I'm trying, it slides out. So. You know, now I just sound like a sex offender.
I have no idea how to delete this picture of Nala's cute puppy, bro. I right-clicked on it and it's just giving me a bunch of...
It's a part of your
I'll,
screen
I'll
now.
fix
You just
it
got a
later.
puppy
Yeah,
now.
we're just gonna have to work around the puppy, guys.
Forever. Every stream forever just has his dog, and all he can do is move it from side to side. So he just makes the stream into a puppy. He just does stories with the dog, like, check it out, I'm a puppy on the town, time to get down.
Problem solved. I've just solved the problem. We just put the puppy in the corner.
Except, Desolator, here's the problem now. They're gonna think one of us is a dog streaming. And
I think I could just hit delete. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. Well, everybody peace out, and don't forget to leave a snarky comment on Tony Hawk's videos. So, I'll see you guys next